I'm looking right, baby. She wanna think I'm only out here for the night, baby. From Puerto Rico, Casamigos with the Sprite, baby. She wanna fuck with the scammers, talk to me nice, baby. She hit the bottle and the oldest wobble wobble. Just thought he's fucking for a fight, the cobble wobble. African twin, he ain't spin, hit the throttle. She wanna fuck with the gangsters, talk to me nice, baby. Finish the bottle when I hook. I am in the building. She in the mirror like it's showtime to protect your small animals from the immigrants. Getting to it early. Who won tonight? Who won the debate tonight? We're gonna get into it. Wolf. Wolf. Who won the debate tonight? I wanna know. I need to know who won the debate tonight. Smoking gelato in the Tahoe, smell the fucking jar. She wanna ride with me cause we look like some movie stars. Oh, Paul, moving faster than a speeding car. Coming through the door with no panties on. Popping Molly's and you know she took a Zanny bar. Talking about a Mazda is a family car. I hit her with a curve, then the coup de grace. Zillow games, I'm shaking up the dice, baby. She wanna stay with me so we can make the night, baby. She wanna be with me so I can lay the pipe, baby. I'm only out here for the night, baby. I'm only out here for the night, baby. I'm on my chest, I'm looking right, baby. Let's go. Got a lot to get to. Who won the debate tonight? Who won the debate tonight? You know what we came here to do. Welcome to the check-in report. I am your humble yet gracious host, True and Living. I am in the building. I'm not your homie. I'm the one and only Macaroni. Welcome to the show, y'all. The presidential election went down tonight. And I got one question. Do you know where your small animals and pets are? Do you know where your small animals and pets are? Donald Trump is the last hope for the pets, for the small animals, dogs, the geese in your neighborhood. He is the last hope.
Oh, Pyro, you going to bed, nigga.
The presidential election went down tonight. I seen the whole thing, but I'm here to recap it, here to go through it. So much to get to. But who do you guys got winning on that debate? I'm gonna be honest with you. I got Trump up on the scorecard. A lot of people, they're making fun of him because, you know, the moderator, which was biased. The moderator was absolutely biased. But I had it scored. I had Trump winning at least 2 to 3 rounds. I had 1 round tie. Listen, it was a dogfight. I'm gonna say it was a dogfight. Kamala did better than I thought. Kamala did better than what I thought she was going to do. Kamala did pretty well, pretty well in the debate. We're here to get into it though. The presidential debate recap. Hopefully you guys have seen it. We're gonna recap it. We're gonna go through it. Just to give a quick reaction. We got a lot to get to. Let's not waste any time. Let's just get right into the recap of the presidential debate, if you will. Let's get right into it. Let's not even waste any more time because we have a lot to get to. Long debate, spirited debate. Without further ado, let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it.
There is no audience here tonight in this hall at the National Constitution Center. This is an intimate setting for two candidates who have never met.
And if you've seen the debate, let me know who you thought won.
Trump won the...
Who did you have winning tonight? Did you have Trump winning? Did you have Kamala Harris winning? I want to know, who did you have winning tonight?
To deliver the final closing statement of the evening, Vice President Harris selected the podium to the right.
So let's now welcome the candidates to the stage, Vice President Kamala Harris and President Donald Trump.
Kamala Harris.
Let's have a good debate.
Nice to see you. Have fun.
Thank you.
Welcome to you both. It's wonderful to have you. It's an honor to have you both here tonight.
Good evening. We are looking forward to a spirited and thoughtful debate.
So let's get started. I want to begin tonight with the issue that voters repeatedly say is their number one issue, and that is the economy and the cost of living in this country. Vice President Harris, you and President Trump were elected 4 years ago, and your opponent on the stage here tonight often asks his supporters, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? When it comes to the economy, do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
So I was raised as a middle-class kid, and I am actually the only person on this stage who has a plan that is about lifting up the middle class and working people of America. I believe in the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams of the American people. And that is why I imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy. Because here's the thing. We know that we have a shortage of homes and housing, and the cost of housing is too expensive for far too many people. We know that young
and you haven't been helping that situation with the state of the economy, Kamala. You have not been helping that situation.
families need support to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a long time.
Who do you think won the debate tonight? Let me know in the chat. Let me know, who do you think won the debate tonight? I see somebody says it was basically against one, though. ABC was biased. I agree. ABC was extremely biased. Extremely biased. But I gotta say, it was a dogfight. Kamala did better than what I thought. Kamala did better than what I thought. Let's continue, though.
So that those young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children. My passion, one of them, is small businesses. My mother raised my sister and me, but there was a woman who helped raise us. We call her our second mother. She was a small business owner. I love our small businesses. My plan is to...
You haven't been helping the small businesses. What are you talking about? You're crippling the economy. How are you helping small businesses? You're crippling the economy, for Pete's sakes. How you helping?
Give a $50,000 tax deduction to start up small businesses, knowing they are part of...
If you want to be a part of the discussion and the dialogue, please put it in the super chat. We put respect on the super chatters. We put respect on the donors. If you want to be a part of the dialogue and discussion, put it in the super chat.
Backbone of America's economy. My opponent, on the other hand, his plan is to do what he has done before, which is to provide a tax cut for billionaires and big corporations, which will result in $5 trillion to America's deficit. My opponent has a plan that I call the Trump's sales tax, which would be a 20% tax on everyday goods that you rely on to get through the month. Economists have said that that Trump sales tax would actually result for middle-class families in about $4,000 more a year, because of his policies and his ideas about what should be the backs of middle-class people paying for tax cuts for billionaires.
President Trump, I'll give you 2 minutes.
First of all, I have no sales tax. That's an incorrect statement. She knows that.
That was the first time I've ever heard of the Trump sales tax. Anybody want to inform me on the Trump sales tax? That was the first time I heard of that. Anybody want to tell me about that? Is that true? First time I've heard about the Trump sales tax. Trump said it was an absolute lie. But let's continue.
We're doing tariffs on other countries. Other countries are going to finally, after 75 years, pay us back for all that we've done for the world. And the tariff will be substantial in some cases. I took in billions and billions of dollars, as you know, from China. In fact, they never took the tariff off because there was so much money they can't. It would totally destroy everything that they've set out to do. They're taking in billions of dollars from China and other places.
Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. We got 161 people in the building. Who won tonight? Who did you give the W to tonight? Did you say Trump won or did you say Kamala Harris won? I gotta say it was a dogfight, but I gotta say I think Trump won this one. You're gonna see a lot of publications saying, "Oh, they got Trump on this and Trump lied about this." I gotta be honest with you. If you really watched the debate, if you really was paying attention to what was happening, what was going on, the nuances, there's no way you can say Trump didn't win this debate. Did Kamala Harris do a good job? She did. I'm gonna give her flowers. She did a good job on this debate. But it wasn't enough, in my opinion. Not as the incumbent party, it was not enough.
They've left the tariffs on. When I had tariffs, and yet I had no inflation. Look, we've had a terrible economy because inflation which is really known as a country buster. It breaks up countries. We have inflation like very few people have ever seen before, probably the worst in our nation's history. We were at 21%, but that's being generous because many things are 56.
Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, y'all. I need y'all to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, all right?
60, 70, and 80% higher than they were just a few years ago. This has been a disaster for people, for the middle class, but for every class. On top of that, we have millions of people pouring into our country from prisons and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylums. And they're coming in and they're taking jobs that are occupied right now by African Americans and Hispanics and also unions.
Talking about the black jobs.
These are going to be affected very soon. And you see what's happening. You see what's happening with towns throughout the United States. You look at Springfield, Ohio. You look at Aurora in Colorado.
Kai says, hide your ducks and hide your geese, y'all. The immigrants are coming for your geese. They're coming for your small pets, your cats, your dogs. You got a pet turtle, you better hide it. You got a pet rabbit, you better hide it. You got a hamster, you got a guinea pig, you better hide it. I need y'all to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button right now.
They are taking over the towns. They're taking over buildings. They're going in violently. These are the people that Xi and Biden led into our country, and they're destroying our country. They're dangerous. They're at the highest level of
Talk to her, Trump.
criminality.
Talk to her.
And we have to get them out. We have to get
Talk to
them out fast. I created one of the greatest economies in the history of our country. I'll do it again and even better.
We are going to get to immigration and border security during this debate, but I would like to let Vice President Harris respond on the economy here.
Well,
Now,
I'd love to.
this is when I realized where they started. Now, pay attention to this whole topic, right? They let Kamala Harris get at least 3 or 4 rebuttals. I was watching this in real time, and I was like, how many rebuttals to the rebuttals are they going to give Kamala? A rebuttal to the rebuttal of the rebuttal to the rebuttal. I was like, get to the next topic already. They gave this woman like 3 or 4 rebuttals that Trump every time Trump says something on this topic, they gave Kamala Harris another rebuttal. I'm like, how many rebuttals to the rebuttal do we need a rebuttal to? Let's continue.
What Donald Trump left us. Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. Donald Trump left us the worst public health epidemic in a century. Donald Trump left us The worst.
We got 500 people in the building. I need y'all to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button right now. Hit it right now. Hit it to the beat. Hit it to the beat. Hit it to the beat. Hit that like button right now. We got 500 people in here standing strong. Patriots. Let's get back into it.
Attack on our democracy since the Civil War. And what we have done is clean up Donald Trump's mess. What we have done and what I intend to do is...
Did she really clean up Trump's mess? I mean, come on, let's be honest with you. The economy was in good shape, Kamala. Let's be honest here. How did you clean up his mess? I'm talking about in terms of the economy. Let's stay on the economy. How did you clean up his mess if he gave you an economy that was in good standing, that didn't have inflation? Stock markets were pretty good. You and Biden got in office and you ruined that. Let's talk about it.
Build on what we know are the aspirations and the hopes of the American people. But I'm going to tell you all in this debate tonight, you're going to hear from the same old tired playbook.
You know what we're going to hear, Kamala? We're going to hear you not take accountability. We're going to hear you sit there and stand there in your pantsuit and not take any accountability for all of the mishaps, all of the failures, all of the blunders from the Biden administration. That's what we're gonna see here tonight. She took no accountability for the failures and mishaps of their administration. No type of accountability. Zero. And if you want to be a part of the discussion, if you want to be a part of the dialogue, please put it in the super chat. We put respect on the donors. We put respect on the super chatters. I want people to be a part of this discussion and dialogue. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Let's get back into it, y'all. Let's get back into it.
A bunch of lies, grievances, and name calling. What you're going to hear tonight is a detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025.
And her with this damn Project 2025. How many times are we going to hear about this damn Project 2025, woman? She did a lot of talking about, Trump, he's going to do a lot of name calling. He's going to talk about immigration. How about you continually mentioning Project 2025? We should all play a drinking game. Every time Kamala Harris mentions Project 2025, we should take a drink. We should take a sip. We should take a hit of something. Every damn time you're mentioning Project 2025, woman. That's your playbook. Let's talk about your playbook.
That the former president intends on implementing if he were elected again. I believe very strongly that the American people want a president who understands the importance of bringing us together, knowing we have so much more in common than what separates us. And I pledge to you to be a president for all Americans.
President Trump will give you a minute here to respond.
Number one, I have nothing to do, as you know, and as she knows better than anyone, I have nothing to do with Project 2025.
Nothing to do with Project 2025. He didn't write it. He didn't forward it. He didn't put a damn memo in the damn report. Nothing to do with Project 2025. But why do we keep hearing about it from Kamala Harris? Why does she keep trying to tie him to it?
That's out there. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I'm not going to read it. This was a group of people.
We got 800 people in the building standing strong. I need y'all to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Who won tonight? Did you give it to Donald Trump? Did you give it to Kamala Harris? It was a dogfight, but I gotta say, I think Trump won tonight. It wasn't easy, but I think Trump won tonight. You're going to hear a lot of publications. You're going to see CNN, ABC, MSNBC. They're going to talk about, they had to correct Trump. He lied about this. He lied about that. They're going to mention all the lies of Trump. But he killed her. He slaughtered her on Israel and Hamas. He slaughtered her. It was a bloodbath. It was when they talked about Israel and Hamas, they're going to get to it. It was a bloodbath. She was leaking. Immigration, she didn't know what to say. She didn't have no excuses. Things wasn't adding up to me. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. Again. If you want to add anything to the discussion, to the dialogue here, please put it in the super chat. We put respect on the super chatters. We put respect on the donors here. We're gonna stop the show for the donors, and we're gonna read your comments. We're gonna put some respect on it. So if you want to donate to the channel, you got anything to add to the dialogue and discussion, please put it in the super chat. Let's get back into it.
Well, they got together. They came up with some ideas. I guess some good, some bad. But it makes no difference. I have nothing to do. Everybody knows I'm an open book. Everybody knows what
and that's the thing. Trump is an open book. He lets us know who he doesn't like, who he doesn't rock with, who he ain't vibing with, what he's going to do. So if he's an open book, why wouldn't he just tell us that he's a part of Project 2025? Why wouldn't he just tell us that? Let's continue.
I'm going to do. Cut taxes very substantially and create a great economy like I did before. We had the greatest economy. We got hit with a pandemic. And the pandemic was not since 1917, where 100 million people died, has there been anything like it. We did a phenomenal job with the pandemic. We handed them over a country where the economy and where the stock market was higher than it was before the pandemic came. Nobody's ever
Talk
seen
to her,
anything
Trump.
like it.
Talk to her.
We made
Talk to her.
ventilators for the
Talk to her.
world. We got gowns, we got masks, we did things that nobody thought possible. And people give me credit for rebuilding the military.
What's up, Zane? I see you in there. What's up, Zane?
They give me credit for a lot of things, but not enough credit for the great job we did with the pandemic. But the only jobs they got were bounce back jobs. These
Bounce back
were
jobs.
jobs. Bounce back, and it
Bounce back.
bounce back, and
Bounce it back.
it went to their benefit. But I was the one that created.
Bigger bounce, bigger bounce, bigger bounce, bigger, 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 bounce, 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 like a down in like the bounce music in New Orleans. Bigger bounce, bigger bounce, bigger bounce, bigger bounce. They was bounce back jobs. Biggity, 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 biggity bounce, biggity bounce, biggity, biggity, biggity bounce, bounce back jobs. Talk to her, Trump. Talk to her.
Created them. They know it, and so does everybody else.
Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond.
So Donald Trump has no plan for you. And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about tax breaks for the richest people.
You giving out tax breaks too? Look, don't fall under the misconception that Kamala Harris ain't giving out tax breaks. She got sugar daddies in high places too. She got sugar daddies funding her campaign too. So don't think for a solitary second that she won't give out some tax breaks too. She got sugar daddies to take care of. You can look at the people funding her, getting behind her. She got sugar daddies too that she's going to take care of.
I am offering what I describe as an opportunity economy, and the best economists in our country, if not the world, have reviewed our relative plans for the future of America. What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse. Mine would strengthen the economy.
How would it strengthen the economy when the economy is in bad shape? We're dealing with inflation. With the terrible job you've been doing, woman. What are you talking about? This is a battle. When it comes to the economy, this is just a battle she can't win. She can't win the battle of the economy. I thought she absolutely got a shellacking in this round.
What the Wharton School has said is Donald Trump's plan would actually explode the deficit. 16 Nobel laureates have described his economic plan as something that would increase inflation, and by the middle of next...
And inflation has already increased. Are we supposed to keep you in office so we can keep the inflation going the way it is? Kamala Harris, you messed up on this one. She lost this round because, listen, she was going to lose in any type of economy, any type of economy topics. She wasn't going to win. She looks absolutely ridiculous talking about inflation when she's the cause of inflation. She's the reason for the season when it comes for inflation.
Next year would invite a recession. You just have to look at where we are and where we stand on the issues. And I'd invite
I need y'all to hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Keep on voting. Hit that like button. Hit that damn subscribe button. Hit it to the beat. Hit it to the beat. If you want to be a part of the discussion and the dialogue, please put it in a super chat. We put respect on the super chatters. We put respect on the donors. We read all donations. We read all super chatters. Let's get back into it.
you to know that Donald Trump actually has no plan for you because he is more interested in defending himself than he is in looking out for you.
All you doing is making excuses, woman. You're not taking any accountability for the poor job you've been doing. The poor job you and Biden have been doing. You and Sleepy Joe. You and daytime cough Joe. NyQuil Joe. DayQuil Joe. Benadryl Joe. You have been doing a terrible job. Let's get back into it. I'm hyped right now.
I went to the Wharton School of Finance, and many of those professors, the top professors, think my plan is a brilliant plan. It's
Talk to her, Trump.
a great plan. It's a
Talk to her.
plan that's going to bring up our worth, our value as a country. It's going to make people want to be able to go and work and create jobs and get a lot of good, solid money for our country. And just to finish off, she doesn't have a plan. She copied Biden's plan.
Hold on, y'all. Salute to the gray man with the $10 donation. Salute to the gray man. The gray man says, you are a smart man who really understands what's going on. Keep up the good work. Salute to the gray man. I want to salute the gray man. That's a patriot right there. Listen, man. This is the most important election of our lifetime. Make no mistake about it. This is the most important election of our lifetime. This is the most important election of our lifetime. Make no mistake about it. And again, if you want to be a part of the discussion and the dialogue, please put it in the super chat. We put respect on the super chatters. We put respect on the donors. We read all donations. And I want people to be a part of the dialogue. I want people to be a part of the discussion on what's going on here. So please, let's continue to do that.
And it's like 4 sentences, like run, spot, run. 4 sentences that are just...
Run, spot, run. Run, spot, run. Has anybody went to her campaign website? Run, spot, run. We're not going back. Oh, you're going back. If we gotta drag you back. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button.
Just, we'll try and lower taxes. She doesn't have a plan. Take a look at her plan. She doesn't have a plan.
Mr. President, I do want to drill down on something you both brought up. The Vice President brought up...
Now, I want y'all to pay attention to how biased ABC was tonight. They allowed Kamala Harris to get a rebuttal to the rebuttal of the rebuttal, which was a rebuttal to the rebuttal to the rebuttal. How many rebuttals do we damn near need? ABC, how many rebuttals does she need? To the rebuttal, to the rebuttal, to the rebuttal, to the rebuttal, rebuttal, to rebuttal, the rebut, the rebut, the rebuttal. Damn. Each person should be awarded 1 rebuttal to the topic. We don't need a rebuttal to the rebuttal of the rebuttal to the rebuttal to the rebuttal to rebut the rebuttal. ABC, you did a terrible job moderating tonight.
your tariffs. You responded, and let's drill down on this, because your plan is what she calls is essentially a national sales tax. Your proposal calls for tariffs, as you pointed out here, on foreign imports across the board. You recently said that you might double your plan, imposing tariffs up to 20% on goods coming into this country. As you know, many economists say that with tariffs at that level, costs are then passed on to the consumer. Vice President Harris has argued it'll mean higher prices on gas, food, clothing, medication, arguing it costs the typical family nearly $4,000 a year. Do you believe Americans can afford higher prices because of tariffs?
They're not going to have higher prices. What's going to have and who's going to have higher prices is China and all of the countries that have been ripping us off for years.
Now, I say it's about time we start taxing other countries. I agree with that. If Trump is not going to tax us, now I'm not saying he won't. I'm not saying he won't. I see we got a couple Kamala Harris bootlickers in here. I'm not saying he won't tax us, but if he plans on taxing other countries, I'm all for it. We need to start taxing some of these other countries. I'm all for it.
I was the only president ever. China was paying us hundreds of billions of dollars, and so were other countries. And, you know, if she doesn't like them, they should have gone out and they should have immediately cut the tariffs. But those tariffs are there 3.5 years now under their administration.
Again, if you want to be a part of the discussion and the dialogue, please put it in the super chat. We put respect on all super chatters. We read all donations. I want people to be a part of the dialogue and the discussion. Let's get back into it.
We are going to take in billions of dollars.
Exactly, Zane. Kamala sexuals are in the building.
Oh my God!
Kamala sexuals, let me know what are your pronouns, Kamala sexuals? Let me know tonight. Do you identify as a party of three? A table? A zebra? Do you identify as a living room lamp? Maybe a stop sign? Let me know what your pronouns are, Kamala sexuals. Let me know. Let me know in the chat room.
Hundreds of billions of dollars. I had no inflation, virtually no inflation. They had the highest inflation perhaps in the history of our country, because I've never seen a worse period of time. People can't go out and buy cereal or bacon or eggs or...
The people can't afford the damn bacon. No more bacon bits for America. What is happening? It's Kamala. You can't even get a slab of bacon because of Sleepy Joe and the pantsuit Messiah messing up the damn economy. What's happening here?
Anything else? The people of our country are absolutely dying with what they've done. They've destroyed the economy. And all you have to do is look at a poll. The polls say 80 and 85 and even 90% that the Trump economy was great, that their economy...
Talk to her, Trump.
Was
Talk to her.
Terrible.
Vice President Harris, I do want to ask for your response, and you heard what the president said there, because the Biden administration did keep a number of the Trump tariffs.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. ABC, they did a good job on this. They called out the Biden administration on keeping the tariffs. Why did they keep the tariffs? If Trump was so bad for business, if Trump was so terrible as a president, doing such a bad job, terrible business person, why did they keep the tariffs in place? Why did they not get rid of the tariffs? Why did they keep them? Why did they keep them in place?
So how do you respond?
Well, let's be clear that the Trump
Yeah,
administration...
be clear. Tell us why you kept the damn tariffs, woman. Why did you keep the damn tariffs in place if he was so bad for business, for trade? She got a shellacking on this topic because she had no feasible reason why she kept the tariffs in place.
Administration resulted in a trade deficit, one of the highest we've ever seen in the history of America. He invited trade wars. You want to talk about his deal with China? What he ended up doing is, under Donald Trump's presidency, he ended up selling American chips to China to help them.
American chips? What you talking about? Doritos? Pringles? Lay's potato chips? What chips is she talking about? Talking about cheese nips? Ruffles? What chips is she talking about?
Improve and modernize their military, basically sold us out, when a policy about China should be in making sure the United States of America wins the competition for the 21st century.
And I want everybody right now in this, we got 900 people in the room, 900 people standing strong. I need you all to go check on your small animals and pets. Take the time out right now to look on your small animals and pets. If you got a cat, a dog, a turtle, a hamster, a gerbil, check in on your small animals and pets right now.
Which means focusing on the details of what that requires. Focusing on relationships with our allies, focusing on investing in American-based technology so that we win the race on AI, on quantum computing, focusing on what we need to do to support America's workforce so that we don't end up having on the short end of the stick in terms of workers' rights. But what Donald Trump did, let's talk about this, with COVID, is he actually thanked President Xi for what he did during COVID. Look at his tweet. Thank you, President Xi, exclamation point, when we know that Xi was responsible for lacking and not giving us transparency about the origins of COVID.
President Trump, I'll let you respond.
First of all, they bought their chips from Taiwan. We hardly make chips anymore because of philosophies like they have and policies like they have. I don't say her because she has no policy. Everything that she believed 3 years ago and 4 years ago is out the window. She's going to my philosophy now. I was going to send her a MAGA hat.
Somebody get Kamala a MAGA hat. I see a lot of you Kamala Harris fans are mad tonight. Why y'all mad? If y'all feel like y'all won tonight, why y'all mad? I don't understand. I see a lot of y'all Kamala Harris fans is mad. Why y'all mad? If y'all feel like y'all won, then why? I don't understand why y'all mad for tonight. Again, if you want to be a part of the dialogue and discussion, we put respect on the super chatters. We put respect on the donors. We read all super chats. We read all donations. We stop the show for the donors. We stop the show for the super chatters. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's get back into it.
She's gone to my philosophy, but if she ever got elected, she'd change it, and it will be the end of our country. She's a Marxist. Everybody knows she's a Marxist. Her father's a Marxist professor in economics, and he taught her well. But when you look at what she's done to our country, and when you look at these millions and millions of people that are pouring into our country monthly, where it's, I believe, 21 million people, not the 15 that people say, and I think it's a lot higher than the 21. That's bigger than New York State pouring in. And just look at what they're doing to our country.
Look at what they're doing.
They're criminals. Many of these people coming in.
Criminals.
They're criminals. And that's bad for...
They're eating your dogs. They're eating your cats. You know, Snowball has gone missing. Mr. Meow Meow has gone missing. Cujo has gone missing.
Mentioned before, we'll talk about immigration later. Well, bad immigration is the worst thing that can happen to our economy. They have, and she has, destroyed our country with policy that's insane. Almost policy that you'd say they have to hate our country.
President Trump, thank you. Lindsay?
I want to turn to the issue of abortion. President Trump, you've often touted that you were able to kill Roe v. Wade. Last year, you said that...
Now, I'm not going to lie. This round on abortion, I kind of scored this one tie. I think she got a shellacking. A shellacking on the first topic. Now, abortion, I scored that one tie.
You were proud to be the most pro-life president in American history. Then last month, you said that your administration would be great for women and their reproductive rights. In your home state of Florida, you surprised many with regard to your 6-week abortion ban because you initially had said that it was too short. And you said, quote, I'm going to be voting that we need more than 6 weeks. But then the very next day, you reversed course. And
Trump is winning in the votes. Kamala Harris fans, if you feel like she won, why are you not voting? Why is your vote not loud enough? Trump he's winning in a landslide right now. What is happening?
And said you would vote to support the 6-week ban. Vice President Harris says that women shouldn't trust you on the issue of abortion because you've changed your position so many times. Therefore, why should they trust you?
Well, the reason I'm doing that vote is because the plan is, as you know, the vote is, they have abortion in the 9th month. They even have, and you can look at the governor of West Virginia, the previous governor of West Virginia, not the current governor, who's doing an excellent job, but the governor before, he said the baby will be born and we will decide
in the 9th month.
Decide what to do with the baby. In other words, we'll execute the baby. And that's why I did that, because that predominates, because they're radical. The Democrats are radical in that.
The Democrats are deleting babies in the 9th month, the 10th month, the 12th month. They coming around for the first birthday and taking the babies. What are the Democrats doing? Save the babies from the Democrats. Exactly, Zane. Exactly, Zane. No spamming in here. Don't be spamming in here. No spamming. Salute to Zane putting in that mod work. No spamming in here. That's a fact. Salute to Zane. Salute to Zane in there.
And her vice presidential pick, which I think was a horrible pick, by the way, for our country, because he is really out of it. But her vice presidential pick says abortion in the 9th month is absolutely fine.
In the 9th month.
Also says execution after birth. It's execution, no longer abortion, because the baby is born. Is okay.
Talk to her.
And that's not okay with me, hence the vote. But what I did is something for 52 years they've been trying to get Roe v. Wade into the states. And through the genius and heart and strength of 6 Supreme Court justices, we were able to do that. Now, I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. I believe strongly in it. Ronald Reagan did also. 85% of Republicans do. Exceptions. Very important. But we were able to get it, and now states are voting on it. And for the first time, you're going to see, look, this is an issue that's torn our country apart.
That's a fact.
For 52 years. Every legal scholar, every Democrat, every Republican, liberal, conservative, they all wanted this.
Trump has the lead in the vote right now. He has the lead with 1,774 votes. Trump has 72%. Kamala Harris fans, where are you at? It's a landslide tonight. 72 votes. 72% of the votes are going for Trump tonight. Tell me it ain't so, Kamala Harris fans. Kamala Harris supporters, where are you at tonight? If you think she won, where are you at tonight? Again, if you want to be a part of the discussion and the dialogue, please put it in the super chat. We put respect on all super chatters. We put respect on all donors. Let's get back into it.
Issue to be brought back to the states where the people could vote, and that's what happened. Now, Ohio, the vote was somewhat liberal. Kansas, the vote was somewhat liberal, much more liberal than people would have thought. But each individual state is voting. It's the vote of the people now. It's not tied up in the federal government. I did a great service in doing it. It took courage to do it. And the Supreme Court had great courage in doing it. And I give tremendous credit to those 6 justices.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born.
Oh my God!
Why was ABC so petty to do that, to throw that in there? Why were they so petty to throw that in there? Why were they so petty to throw that in there? Let people do their own damn fact checking.
Madam Vice President, I want to get your response to President Trump.
Well, as I said, you're going to hear a bunch of lies, and that's not actually a surprising fact. Let's understand how we got here. Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And they did exactly as...
Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you want to be a part of the dialogue and discussion, please put it in the super chat. Put it in the donation. We put respect on the donors. We put respect on the super chatters here, all right?
He intended. And now in over 20 states, there are Trump abortion bans, which make it criminal for a doctor or nurse to provide health care. In one state, it provides prison for life. Trump abortion bans that make no exception even for rape and incest, which understand what
he just said that he gives exception on those topics. So why is she blurting that out? He just said that he gives exceptions on those exceptions. There's always exceptions to the rules.
that means. A survivor of a crime of violation to their body does not have the right to make a decision about what happens to their body next. That is immoral. And one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree.
I disagree. I would say if you're a Christian and you're an abortionist, then you have set aside your faith. You have set aside your religion. If you're an abortionist and you're aligning yourself to the Christian faith, you have put your values and you have put your faith to the side. There's always going to be exceptions to the rule. Yeah, exceptions to the rule. We could all understand exceptions to the rules. But what about those 2 consenting adults that decided to lay down and have a baby? Do they just deserve to just willy-nilly just go, have the procedure done whenever they willy-nilly and feel like it? Take some accountability. Take some responsibility.
The government and Donald Trump certainly should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. I have talked with women around our country. You want to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that. Her husband didn't want that. A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. They don't
We already spoke about the exceptions.
want that. And I pledge to you, when Congress passes a bill to put back in place the protections of Roe v. Wade, as President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law. But understand, if Donald Trump were to be reelected, he will sign a national abortion ban. Understand, in his Project 2025, there would be a national abortion, a monitor that would be monitoring your pregnancies, your miscarriages. I think the American people believe that certain freedoms, in particular the freedom to make decisions about one's own body, should not be made by the government.
Thank you, Vice President Harris.
Well, there she goes again. It's a lie. I'm not signing a ban, and there's no reason to sign a ban because we've gotten what everybody wanted.
Now, I scored this round on abortion. I scored this round. I scored it a tie. I think Kamala Harris did pretty good on this round. I think it was a tie on this one. I'm gonna give it a tie.
Democrats, Republicans, and everybody else, and every legal scholar.
To be honest, I think this might have been the best. This might have been her best performance in this topic. Because there was no way she was going to win the economy. There was no way she was going to win the immigration one. This was probably her best performance in this topic. In this topic, she did pretty good.
Wanted it to be brought back into the states, and the states are voting, and it may take a little time, but for 52 years, this issue has torn our country apart. And they've wanted it back in the states. And I did something that no.
Again, if you have anything to add to the discussion, the dialogue, put it in a super chat. We put respect on the super chatters here. We put respect on the donors and the super chatters. We stopped the show for the super chatters. And I want people to be a part of the dialogue. I want people to be a part of the discussion. So please put it in super chat, put it in the donation if you have anything to add to the dialogue.
Nobody thought was possible. The states are now voting. What she says is an absolute lie. And as far as the abortion ban, no, I'm not in favor of abortion ban, but it doesn't matter because this issue has now been taken over by the states.
Would you veto a national abortion ban if it came?
I don't think it's a bad thing to have this be attached to the states. I think it being attached to the states is giving people more. It's allowing the states to deal with the issue. Whether you live in whatever state you live in, whether you live in a red state or a liberal state, it's allowing the state to deal with it. I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea that the states decide on it. Whether it be the federal government just have a big wide law to just, we all down with this. I'd rather the states decide on this. I think that's a good idea. I think that's not. I don't think that's wrong with. And I'm pro-life. I am pro-life.
I won't have to because again, two things. Number one, she said she'll go back to Congress. She'll never get the vote. It's impossible for her to.
That's a fact.
Get the vote. Especially
because she keeps spurting out, I'm going to go to Congress and I'm going to do this. With all the Republicans in there, you're not going to get anything done, Kamala. You're lying. You're not going to go to Congress and do. You haven't gotten anything done thus far. So why should we believe that you're going to get anything done now?
Now with the 50-50, essentially 50-50 in both Senate and the House. She's not going to get the vote.
That's a fact.
She can't get the vote. She won't even get close to it. So it's just talk.
He ain't lying.
You know what it reminds me of when they said they're going to get student loans terminated?
That's a fact.
Oh my God!
What happened with the student loans? Remember, they ran, we're gonna fix student debt. We're gonna take everybody's student debt. A lot of people are still under the weight of student debt. They're forgiving a few people here or there, but there's still a lot of people being, under the weight of student debt. And what he's saying here essentially is facts, because they keep saying, we're going to go to Congress and we're going to do this and we're going to bring abortion to Congress. You brought student debt to Congress and you failed. So why should we believe you're going to fix things? You're going to do things now. If we've learned anything from the Biden administration is that they don't get anything done. They don't get work done. The border, they can't get it done. Student loans, they can't get it done. Foreign policy, they can't get things done.
And it ended up being a total catastrophe. The student loans, and then I think probably her boss, if you call him a boss, he spends all his time on the beach. But
Fire! 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 Fire!
Sleepy Joe on the beach having a nice little nap time. Get your Benadryl ready. Get your NyQuil ready.
But look, her boss went out and said, we'll do it again. We'll do it a different way. And he went out, got rejected again by the Supreme Court. So all these students got taunted with this whole thing about this whole idea. And how unfair that would have been, part of the reason they lost, to the millions and millions of people that had
millions
pay off their student loans. They didn't get it for free. But they were saying it's the same way that they talked about that they talk about abortion.
Talk
But
about
if
it.
I could just get a yes or no, because your running mate, J.D. Vance, has said that you would veto it if it did come to your desk.
Well, I didn't discuss it with J.D. In all fairness, J.D., and I don't mind if he has a certain view, but I think he was speaking for me. But
People get so butthurt when it comes to. I understand, but y'all gotta stop getting so butthurt about your favorite politicians. I mean, I see a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all are butthurt. Especially you, Kamala. I don't understand what you Kamala Harris fans are so mad about. A lot of y'all are talking about y'all won tonight. That's not what the poll is saying. But a lot of y'all keep saying y'all won. If y'all won tonight, then what are y'all mad about? I don't get it. What are you Kamala Harris fans mad about? Y'all keep saying y'all won, but y'all the ones in there butthurt. The Trump fans in it, they not butthurt tonight. They chilling. They having a good time. They enjoying the show. It's you, Kamala Harris fan. Y'all are mad. Why y'all? If you won tonight, what are you mad about? Or is it that you didn't win tonight? You got a shellacking. I thought you got a shellacking tonight. I'm gonna be honest. I think you got a shellacking tonight. I gotta be honest with you. But I mean, the Trump fans is chilling. It's y'all Kamala fans. It seemed like y'all mad. What are you mad about?
I really didn't. Look, we don't have to discuss it because she'd never be able to get it, just like she couldn't get student loans. They couldn't get student loans. They didn't even come close to getting student loans. They taunted young people and a lot.
That's a fact. They absolutely did. They taunted young people, lied to them. Oh, we're gonna fix your student debt. We're gonna take away your student loans. We're gonna take it to Congress. We're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. They lied. They lied to young people. They lied about the student debt. They didn't get things done. They lied about the student debt. And you know what they did with that student debt money that they could have forgiven us of? They took that student debt money that they could have forgave us for, and they put immigrants in high-rise hotels and gave them credit cards. That's what they did. Instead of forgiving the loans, that's what they chose to do. That's what they chose to do with the money, all right?
A lot of other people that had loans, they can never get this approved. So it doesn't matter what she says about going to Congress. Well, wonderful. Let's go to Congress. Do it. But the fact is that for years they wanted to get it out of Congress and out of the federal government, and we did something that everybody said couldn't be done. And now you have a vote of the people on abortion.
Vice President Harris, want to give you your time to respond, but I do want to ask, would you support any restrictions on a woman's right to an abortion?
I absolutely support reinstating the protections of Roe v. Wade. And as you rightly mentioned, nowhere in America is a woman carrying a pregnancy to term.
I need y'all to hit that like button. Keep hitting that like button. Keep hitting that subscribe button. If you have anything to add to the dialogue, anything to add to the discussion, please put it in a super chat. Put it in a donation. We put respect on the super chatters. We put respect on the donors here. I want people to be a part of the discussion. I want people to be a part of the dialogue. If you have anything to add, please put it in a super chat. Please put it in a donation. We put respect on the donors and the super chatters. Let's continue.
And in asking for an abortion, that is not happening. It's insulting to the women of America. And understand what has been happening under Donald Trump's abortion bans. Couples who pray and dream of having a family are being denied IVF treatments. What is happening in our country? Working people, working women who are working 1 or 2 jobs, who can barely afford childcare as it is, have to travel to another state to get on a plane sitting next to strangers to go and get the health care she needs. Barely can afford to do it, and what you are putting her through is unconscionable. And the people of America have not, the majority of Americans believe in a woman's right to make decisions about her own body. And that is why in every state where this issue has been on the ballot, in red and blue states both, the people of America have voted for freedom.
2,483 votes. Trump is leading with 72 votes. Kamala Harris has 28. Did Kamala Harris take a L tonight? Did she take a L tonight? Let me know in the chat.
Vice President Harris,
Excuse me, I
thank
have
you.
to respond. Another lie.
Another lie. Another lie.
I have been a leader on IVF, which is fertilization. The IVF, I have been a leader.
A leader.
In fact, when they got a very negative decision on IVF from the Alabama courts, I saw the people of Alabama and the legislature 2 days later voted it in. I've been a leader on it.
A
They
leader.
know that, and everybody else knows.
He's
it.
been a leader.
I have been a leader on fertilization, IVF. And the other thing, you should ask, will she allow?
They said, oh, remember, y'all, they said it was not going to be no hot mics. Why do I hear Kamala Harris whispering underneath her breath, talking about, you did not? Why? See, ABC, they was playing games tonight. ABC, you did a terrible job moderating this debate. It was entertaining still, but you did a terrible job moderating. Why do I hear Kamala Harris's mic right now? They said it wasn't going to be no hot mics. Or they just keeping her mic on when he talk, huh?
Allow abortion in the 8th month, 9th month, 7th month?
Come on.
Okay.
Come on, see? Why do we hear her mic? The rules, we can go back to the rule. The rules said there was not going to be no hot mics tonight. No hot mics. Why do I hear her talking when Trump had to talk? He even had to shut her up. He told her, shut up, mammy. Shut your damn mouth, mammy. Like, come on. Why do I hear her talk? Why do I hear her talking right now while Trump is talking? There's no hot mics. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. ABC, you did a terrible job tonight. They was better off having this on Fox. They did a terrible job. Terrible.
Would you do that? Why don't you ask her that question?
Why don't you answer
That's
the
problem.
question? Would you
because
veto?
under Roe v.
Answer
Wade,
the question. Would you
She's talking over him over his answer.
Oh, Pyro, you going to bed, nigga.
They said it wasn't going to be no hot mics.
Oh, Pyro, you going to bed, nigga.
Why do I hear her talking?
Oh, Pyro, you going to bed, nigga.
ABC.
Oh, Pyro, you going to bed, nigga.
ABC. What are you doing?
Oh, Pyro, you going to bed, nigga.
I don't get it.
veto?
you could do abortions in the 7th month, the 8th month, the 9th
That's
month.
not true.
And
The 8th month, the 9th month, the 10th month. The Democrats, they're going to come around on the first birthday and take your damn child. It's ridiculous.
probably after birth. Just look at the former governor of Virginia. The governor of Virginia said we put the baby aside and then we determine what we want to do with the baby.
President Trump, thank you.
We're going to turn now to immigration and border security. We know it's an issue that's important to Republicans, Democrats, voters across the board in this country. Vice President Harris, you were tasked by President Biden with getting to the root causes of migration from Central America. We know that illegal border crossings reached a record high in the Biden administration. This past June, President Biden imposed tough new asylum restrictions. We know the numbers since then have dropped significantly. But my question to you tonight is, why did the administration wait until 6 months before the election to act? And would you have done anything differently from President Biden on this?
So I'm the only person on this stage who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. And let me say that the United States Congress, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, came up with a border security bill which I supported. And that bill would have put 1,500 more border agents on the border to help those folks who are working.
This is the same woman who called ICE agents KKK. Let's not forget about that. She compared ICE agents to KKK, but she's talking about, oh, I wanted to get more agents at the border. This is the same woman that didn't have time to go to the border while she was the border czar. But she's talking about, I wanted to put more agents at the border. You ain't even been to the damn border, woman. What are you talking about?
Working there right now, overtime, trying to do their job. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States. I know there are so many families watching tonight who have been personally affected by the surge of fentanyl in our country. That bill would have put more resources to allow us to prosecute transnational criminal organizations for trafficking in guns.
If you have anything to add to the discussion, please put it in a super chat. I see a lot of you Kamala sexuals, you're mad, you're aggy, you're cursing me out, you're asking me if I'm a Trump supporter. I'm not. If you have anything to add to the discussion, please put it in a super chat. Put it in a donation. We put respect on the super chatters. We put respect on the donors here. We stop the show for the donors. Let's continue.
Guns, drugs, and human beings. But you know what happened to that bill? Donald Trump got on the phone, called up some folks in Congress, and said, kill the bill. And you know why? Because he'd prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And understand, this comes at a time where the people of our country actually need a leader who engages in solutions, who actually addresses the problems at hand. But what we have in the former president is someone who would prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem.
Woman, you how about this? You're running on a problem and not fixing a problem. If he's running on a problem, if he's running on a problem, you're running on a problem to not fix a problem. Why isn't she fixing the country right now? Trump brought that up. He was like, how about this, Kamala? How about you leave here, leave this debate, go down to the White House and fix the damn country. She had no rebuttal for that one.
And I'll tell you something, he's going to talk about immigration a lot tonight, even when it's not the subject that is being raised. And
you're going to talk about Project 2025, even when it's not the topic. Let's call it out. If you're going to call out Trump for bringing up immigration when it's not the topic, let's call you out for bringing up Project 2025 when it's not the topic. You're a hypocrite, Kamala. You're guilty of the same.
I'm going to actually do something really unusual, and I'm going to invite you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies, because it's a really interesting thing to watch. You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills.
Well, when we go to your damn rallies, what do we see at your rallies, Kamala? Meg the Stallion twerking. You got the pro-Palestine protesters out there swarming. Short 30-minute speeches. People popping open Don Julio, leaving early. At least Donald Trump is talking about the issues at his rallies. You got people twerking at your rallies, popping ass at the rallies. I heard somebody compare your rally to Freaknik.
Cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom. And I will tell you, the one thing you will not hear him talk about is you. You will not hear him talk about your needs, your dreams, and your needs.
I need y'all to hit that like button. Hit that like button and that subscribe button right now. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button right now. Let's continue.
And your desires. And I'll tell you, I believe you deserve a president who actually puts you first, and I pledge to you that I will.
Vice President Harris, thank you. President Trump, on that point, I want to get your response.
Well, I would like to respond.
Let me just ask, though, why did you try to kill that bill, and successfully so, that would have put thousands of additional agents and officers on the border?
First, let me respond as to the
Please.
rallies. She said people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that...
The only time they go to her rallies is if they want to twerk some ass. That's the only reason people go to her rally, because they want to twerk. They want to see Meg Thee Stallion shake her little ass. They don't want to hear about the topics, the issues, the economy, immigration.
do go, she's busing them in and paying them to be there, and then showing them in a different light. So she can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies.
Talk about it. Talk about it, Trump.
People want to take their country back. Our country is being lost. We're a failing nation. And it happened 3.5 years ago. And what's going on here, you're going to end up in World War III, just to go into another subject. What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs.
They're eating the dogs.
Fire, fire, fire,
Save the damn dogs.
Oh, Pyro, you going to bed, nigga.
Check on your dog right now. Check on your damn cat right now. Check on your damn gerbil, hamster, turtle. Check on them right now. Check on them. Check on them right now. It's 1 a.m. Do you know where your small pets are at?
The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
They're eating the pets. Yo, this nigga is too funny, man. I'm sorry, man.
Oh, Pyro, you going to bed, nigga.
Trump is just too funny, man. He's just too funny. He's just too funny. He's just too funny. He's just too funny, man. I'm sorry. They're eating the dogs and the cat. Yo.
And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. As far as rallies are concerned, as far as the reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase, make America great again. She's destroying this country. If she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success, we'll end up being Venezuela on steroids.
I just want to clarify here. You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific...
Now let me talk about this. Because, you know, ABC, they tried to be slick with this one. Oh, we reached out to the people, the city council. They said that this was... Of course the city council is not going to let that leak. Of course the city council is not going to allow that to be the story. These stories are coming from the people. The people are saying that the dogs and the cats are coming up missing. It's the people taking the pictures of the immigrants with the geese in their hands. It's the people talking. Of course, the city council is not going to let that leak. It's election season coming up. They're not going to allow that to leak. So ABC, again, they tried to be slick. They tried to be slick with this one. It's the same thing with Aurora. They tried to say, oh, it wasn't the Venezuelan gangs and the yada, yada, yada. Clearly, it was Venezuelan gang members. They tried to debunk that. But there was no credible evidence to say that it wasn't them. They going through loops and bounds to not make the Democrats look bad. If you ask me.
The claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
the people on television say my dog was.
The people on television are saying it. Okay. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I believe the people over the city council, because the city council, listen, election season is right around the corner, bro. The people in city council, the mayors, they all trying to get reelected. You think they're going to allow that to leak? That immigrants are in their towns eating small pets and geese and stuff like that? They're not going to let that leak. But the people are saying this is what's happening. The people are reporting it. Just like the people in Aurora. The people in Aurora are telling you what's happening.
Taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
but
television.
The people
I'm taking
television.
it from.
That's correct. That's exactly a city manager, a city council. Of course, they're going to try to clean that up. We all saw the picture with the man with the geese in his hands. Where was he going with that damn geese? Where in Sam Hill was he going with that damn geese? And listen, I'm from Long Island. Geese are aggressive. A geese will chase you down. But when the geese saw that damn immigrant, he was running for dear life. Geese ain't afraid of no damn Americans. But when it comes to the immigrant, they was running for damn life.
You're saying their dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond to the rest.
We'll find out. We'll find out. That's a fact. We'll find out.
You've heard.
You talk about extreme.
Talk about extreme. Well, you're not doing anything about it, and make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it, because she you saw what she just said. Talk about extreme, but what about the extreme things that's happened in New York? Let's put Aurora, Colorado to the side for 1 second, right? Let's put the immigrants grabbing up small pets and geese and stuff. Let's put all that to the side. What about what's happening in New York? Immigrants are flooding in New York. One immigrant shot at a police officer. He testified and said, "This is what we do in our country. We shoot at police officers." Is that too extreme for you, Kamala Harris? What's your excuse for that? Is that too extreme for you, Kamala Harris? What's your excuse for that?
This is, I think, one of the reasons why in this election I actually have the endorsement of 200 Republicans who have formally worked with President Bush, Mitt Romney, and John McCain including the endorsement of...
Again, if you want to be a part of the discussion and the dialogue, please put it in the super chat. We put respect on the donors and the super chatters. I want people to be a part of the. I want people to be a part of the discussion and the dialogue. So please put it in the super chat. I see a lot of people in here. It's about 700 people in the building. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get back into it, y'all.
Of former Vice President Dick Cheney and Congress member Liz Cheney. And if you want to really know the inside track on who the former president is, if he didn't make it clear already, just ask people who have worked with him. His former chief of staff, a 4-star general, has said he has contempt for the Constitution of the United States. His former national security advisor has said he is dangerous and unfit. His former Secretary of Defense has said the nation, the republic, would never survive another Trump term.
We got 3,220 people in the building that voted. 3,227 out of 3,227 votes. Trump is in the lead with 72%. Kamala Harris, the pantsuit messiah, only has 28%. Who won tonight?
And when we listen to this kind of rhetoric, when the issues that affect the American people are not being addressed, I think the choice is clear in this election.
President Trump, I'll give you a quick minute to respond here.
Thank you, because when I hear that, see, I'm a different kind of a person. I fired most of those people. Not so graciously. They did bad things or a bad job.
Sometimes you gotta fire niggas, you know what I mean?
Oh, Pyro, you going to bed, nigga.
Sometimes you gotta fire people. You know, why hasn't Kamala in the Biden administration fired anyone? I agree with Trump. You know, if people aren't doing a good job, he was saying I fired a lot of people during my administration. If people are doing a bad job, they're not equipped to do the job, why aren't you firing them?
Oh, Pyro, you going to bed, nigga.
If you listen, man, if you don't do a good job at your job, if you're not on time, if your work skills and your work ethic isn't there at doing your job, you get fired. The Biden administration, they kept everybody. It's a get along gang. Go along gang.
I fired them. They never fired
They having LGBTQ barbecues on the White House front lawn every other Thursday. Every other Tuesday is ice cream Tuesday. You know, Joe Biden on the White House front lawn eating a French vanilla ice cream cone. Madness.
one person. They didn't fire anybody having to do with Afghanistan and the Taliban and the 13 people who's were just killed, viciously and violently killed. And I got to know the parents and the family. They didn't fire. They should have fired all those generals, all those top people, because that was one of the most incompetently handled situations anybody has ever seen. So when somebody does a bad job,
they did a poor job in Afghanistan.
Fire him. And you take a guy like Esper. He was no good. I fired him. So he writes a book. Another one writes a book. Because with me, they can write books. With nobody else can they? But they have done such a poor job.
Poor job.
They never fire anybody. Look at the economy. Look at the inflation. They didn't fire any of their economists. They have the same people. That's a good way not to have books written about you. But just to finish, I got more votes than any Republican in history by far. In fact, I got more votes than any sitting president in history by far.
Let me continue on immigration. It was what you wanted to talk about earlier, so let's get back to your deportation proposal that the vice president has reacted to as well. President Trump, you call this the largest domestic deportation operation in the history of our country. You say you would use the National Guard. You say if things get out of control, you'd have no problem using the U.S. military.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. You know, listen, man, the largest that's going to be really tough, man, to do. It's not going to be easy to do that. Does it need to happen? Yes. But if Trump, let's just be realistic here, y'all. If Trump think that this is going to be an easy task to do, like, come on, bro. You're not going to just round up all of these illegal immigrants. That's not going to happen. You don't think they're going to be running, hiding? I mean, you know, people are not going to, people are not going to go back to their third world countries willingly. It's not realistic. That's just not realistic. I mean, does it need to happen? It probably needs to happen, but does it? The likelihood of him rounding up every last, illegal immigrant that's gotten here in the last 3.5 years, that's a tough feat.
You also said you would use local police. How would you deport 11 million undocumented immigrants? I know you believe that number is much higher. Take us through this. What does this look like? Will authorities be going door to door in this country?
Yeah. It is much higher because of them.
Check on your small animals, y'all. Check on your small animals. I've been saying that all night. Please, check on your small animals.
They allowed criminals, many millions of criminals. They allowed terrorists. They allowed common street criminals. They allowed people to come in, drug dealers, to come into our country. And they're now in the United States and told by their countries like Venezuela, don't ever come back or we're going to kill you. Do you know that crime in Venezuela and crime in countries all over the world is way down?
Way down.
You know why? Because they've taken their criminals off the street and they've given them to her to put into our country.
Talk about it.
This will be one of the greatest mistakes in history for them to allow, and I think they probably did it because they think they're going to get votes, but it's not worth it. Because they're destroying the fabric of our country by what they've done. There's never been anything done like this at all. They've destroyed the fabric of our country. Millions of people let in. And all over the world, crime is down. All over the world except here.
Except here.
Crime here is up and through the roof. Despite their fraudulent statements that they made, crime in this country is through the roof. And we have a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime.
Migrant crime.
It's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country. But Vice
Excuse me,
President
the
Harris,
FBI they were defrauding statements. They didn't include the worst cities.
Trump accused the FBI of defrauding statements, y'all. Salute to Decoy DOA with the $2 donation. Salute to him. Decoy DOA 999 says Trump better oil up. Trump better oil up. Oh man. Hey man, if you want to be a part of the dialogue and the discussion, please put it in the super chat. We put respect on all super chatters. We put respect on all donors here. We stop the show for the donators. We stop the show for the super chatters. If you have anything to add to the dialogue, to the discussion, put it in the super chat. Salute to Decoy DOA 999. How do y'all feel so far? Do y'all feel like? Listen, I feel like Trump. He slaughtered her on the first topic, right? In my opinion, immigration slaughtered her. Abortion is where I had it tied. I had it tied in abortion. When I thought she did a pretty good job with abortion, right? But we're about to get to the Israel-Hamas thing. She got absolutely slaughtered. It's coming up. When they talked about Israel and on all that, on all those topics, stuff like that, she got absolutely slaughtered on that topic. I was like, man, she is bleeding right now. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see it when it comes up. Let's continue though. Let's continue.
It didn't include the cities with the worst crime. It was a fraud. Just like their number of 818,000 jobs that they said they created turned out to be a fraud.
President Trump, thank you. I'll let you respond, Vice President Harris.
Well, I think this is so rich. coming from someone who has been prosecuted.
Kamala Harris, I'm so tired of you laughing and chuckling. This is so rich.
For national security crimes, economic crimes, election.
Oh, she's gonna bring up Trump's criminal history here. I already see her lining it up.
Interference has been found liable for sexual assault.
Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button.
And his next big court appearance is in November at his own criminal sentencing. And let's be clear where each person stands on the issue of what is important about respect for the rule of law and respect for law enforcement. The former vice president called for defunding federal law enforcement, 45,000 agents, get this, on the day after he was arraigned on 34 felony counts. So let's talk about what is important in this race. It is important that we move forward, that we turn the page on this same old tired rhetoric and address the needs of the American people, address what we need to do about the housing shortage, which I have a plan for.
You have a plan for, but you're not doing anything for. Why hasn't she done anything about the housing crisis? You know, I'm just saying, bro. You know, this is the issue that comes with every incumbent. Now, keep in mind, she's trying to masquerade as not being an incumbent, but she is an incumbent. She's in the office right now. And every time she says that I have a plan to fix this, I have a plan to fix that. Kamala Harris, you're in office right now. Why haven't you been implementing these plans? Don't wait for election night. Don't wait to take the oath of office. Do it now. What the hell are you waiting for? Fix the housing market now. Fix immigration now.
Address what we must do to support our small businesses. Address bringing down the price of groceries. But frankly, the American people are exhausted.
We are exhausted with you not doing anything. I need y'all to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you have anything to add to the dialogue and the discussion, please put it in the super chat. We put respect on the super chatters. We put respect on the donors. Let's get back into it. Hold on.
With this same old tired playbook.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Every one of those cases was started by them against their political opponent. And I'm winning most of them, and I will win the rest on appeal. And you saw that with the decision that came down just recently from the Supreme Court. I'm winning most of them. But those are cases, it's called weaponization. Never happened in this country. They weaponized the Justice Department. Every one of those cases was involved with the DOJ, from Atlanta and Fani Willis to the Attorney General of
the Mammy Fannie Willis and Loverboy Wade. Anybody saw the video with the Mammy Fannie Willis pulling up to her daughter's arrest with Loverboy Wade in the passenger seat? We stopped dating. We stopped dating years ago. She's still getting smashed out by Loverboy Wade, the Mammy Fannie Willis.
And the DA in New York, every one of those cases, and then they say, oh, he's a criminal. They're the ones that made them go after me. By the way, Joe Biden was found essentially guilty on the documents case. And what happened in my documents case? They said, oh, that's the toughest of them all. A complete and total victory. 2 months ago, it was thrown out. It's weaponization, and they used it, and it's never happened in this country. They used it to try and win an election. They're fake cases.
President Trump, thank you. A really quick response here, Vice President Harris, on this notion of weaponization of the Justice Department.
Well, let's talk about extreme.
Like, let's be honest here. Like, did they weaponize the justice system against Trump? I think everybody has two eyes and can tell that they weaponize the justice system. I mean, the Democrats, they keep trying to make it seem like they had nothing to do. You know, I find it funny how I find it funny how they think, oh, Trump called a couple of Republicans to stop this bill from happening, and we're supposed to believe that. But we can't believe, you know, Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, calling a few Democrats, calling a few judges, a couple of district attorneys. We can't believe them weaponizing the justice system and the DOJ against Donald Trump. I find that very crazy. They want it to be one way. Salute to Ed G with the $2 donation. Salute to Ed G with the $2 donation. He says, all she did is talk about Trump. No real policy. I agree. I didn't really hear her really, lay out plans. She accused of Trump not really having a plan of anything, but I didn't really hear a lot of plans from her as well. I didn't really hear her really lay out plans and lay out how she was going to fix this and fix that. I didn't really hear that. I agree with you. I didn't hear a lot of policy. She keeps saying that she's going to fix this and fix that, but Kamala, you're in office right now. Why you not fixing it now? Like I said, don't wait for election night. Don't wait to take the oath of office. Do it now.
And understand the context in which this election in 2024 is taking place. The United States Supreme Court recently ruled that the former president would essentially be immune from any misconduct if he were to enter the White House again. Understand, this is someone who has openly said he would terminate, I'm quoting, terminate the Constitution of the United States, that he would weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies. Someone who has openly expressed disdain for members of our military.
1 second, Charles. 1 second. Let me grab something.
What it would mean if Donald Trump were back in the White House with no guardrails, because certainly we know now the court won't stop him. We know J.D. Vance is not going to stop him. It's up to the American people.
Vice President Harris,
him.
Thank you. Lindsay?
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president.
This is the one that weaponized, not me. She weaponized. I probably took a bullet to the head because of the things that they say about me. They talk about democracy. I'm a threat to democracy. They're the threat to democracy with a fake Russia investigation.
We do have a lot.
Russia.
That went nowhere.
We have a lot to get to. Lindsay?
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president, you said you wanted to ban fracking. Now you don't. You wanted mandatory government buyback.
What the frack is going on?
Programs for assault weapons.
Where my country gone?
Now your campaign says you don't. You supported decriminalizing border crossings.
I just want to let you guys know I hit 10K today. It's been a long journey. I got a celebration beer. I want to thank y'all for getting me to 10K tonight. Salute to everybody tonight. I hit 10K tonight. Cheers. I want to give a salute to Sinclair. I want to give a salute to Nelly. I want to give a salute to Zane. Salute to Zane, my new mod. Salute to Reese. Salute to Jadero. Salute to Eco. Salute to all my mods. Salute to the first subscriber. Salute to the one that just subscribed today, man. Salute to y'all, man. I hit 10K tonight. Let's continue, though. Let's continue.
Now you're taking a harder line. I know you say that your values have not changed. So then why have so many of your policy positions changed?
So my values have not changed, and I'm going to discuss every one of the, at least every point that you've made. But in particular, let's talk about fracking because we're here in Pennsylvania. I made that very clear in 2020. I will not ban fracking. I have not banned fracking as Vice President of the United States. And in fact, I was the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which opened new leases for fracking. My position is that we have got to invest in diverse sources of energy so we reduce our reliance on foreign oil. We have had the largest increase in domestic oil production in history because of an approach that recognizes that we cannot over-rely on foreign oil. as it relates to my values, let me tell you, I grew up a middle-class kid raised by a hardworking mother who worked and saved and was able to buy our first home when I was a teenager. The values I bring to the...
Kamala Harris brought a house when she was a teenager? Is that true, y'all? Did she buy a house when she was a teenager? I never heard that. Okay.
Importance of home ownership, knowing not everybody...
Gotta look into that.
Everybody got handed $400 million on a silver platter and then filed bankruptcy 6 times, is a value that I bring to my work to say we are going to work.
And that's another thing, Kamala Harris, you got to stop lying that you come from this hard-working background. Your mother was a doctor. You come from an affluent family. Please don't fall for the okie doke like, oh, Kamala Harris had to struggle. Kamala Harris, she had to work 10 jobs to support her family. She had to struggle. You come from an affluent family, Kamala. Your mother was a damn doctor. What are you talking about? Your mother was a doctor. She was a career woman. This is not no struggling black woman that you're trying to or struggling Indian woman that you're trying to tell us. Now, did you come from a rich, wealthy family like Trump? No. But you come from an affluent family. You wasn't struggling like that. Don't make it seem like you were struggling like that. Ed G with the $2 donation. Salute to Ed G with the $2 donation. Salute to Ed G. He says, yeah, and she been listening to Pac since the 80s. Yeah, she's an absolute goofball. Yeah, I was listening to Pac in the 80s. I was in my college dorm room in 1985, and Tupac came out with "Ready to Die." Yeah. Hey, Kamala, what's your favorite Tupac song? Oh, my favorite Tupac song. It goes like hip hop, a hippie, hip it to the hip hop. You don't stop, rock it to the bomb, big it up, the boogie the beat.
Oh, Pyro, you going to bed, nigga?
That's my favorite Tupac song, y'all. Hip hop, hip it to the hip hop. That's her favorite. That's her favorite hip hop song of Tupac's. She's a cap artist. A liar, a deceiver. Somebody said, "I Get Around." Yeah, that would be her favorite song from Tupac. "I Get Around." That explains why she was so into Montel Jordan, right? Or Montel Williams, whatever. Montel Williams, he had that bald head like Tupac. That explains a lot why she was so into Tupac. You know, Montel Williams, he had that bald head too. I get around. Let's continue.
Work with the private sector and home builders to increase by 3 million homes by the end of my first term. My work that is related to having a friend when I was in high school who was sexually assaulted by her stepfather. And my focus then on protecting women and children from violent crime is based on a value that is deeply grounded in the importance of standing up for those who are most vulnerable. My work that is about protecting Social Security and Medicare is based on long-standing work that I have done, protecting seniors from scams. My values have not changed. And what is important is that there is a president who actually brings values and a perspective that is about lifting people up and not beating people down and name-calling. The true measure of the leader is the leader who actually understands.
You already know we on the Corona tonight.
The strength is not in beating people down, it's in lifting people up. I intend to be that president.
President Trump, your response?
Well, first of all, I wasn't given $400 million. I wish I was. My father was a Brooklyn builder, Brooklyn, Queens, and a great father, and I learned a lot from him. But I was given a fraction of that, a tiny fraction. And
oh, Sinclair's in the building. Sinclair, we hit 10K today. We hit 10K today. Salute to Sinclair. She been rocking with me forever, man. I gotta take the time out to salute Sinclair, man. We hit 10K today. Salute to Sinclair for holding me down. Like I said, I remember when it was just me, Sinclair, Nelly in the building. Wherever Nelly is, salute to Nelly. I gotta reach out to Nelly on Instagram. I haven't seen Nelly in a hot minute. I gotta reach out to Nelly on Instagram. Yeah, man. Thank you, Sinclair. Sinclair says congratulations. Thank you, Sinclair. I appreciate it. I remember when it was just me, Sinclair, and Nelly in the building. Yeah, salute to Sinclair. Let's get back into it.
And have built it into many, many billions of dollars, many, many billions. And when people see it, they are even surprised. So we don't have to talk about that. Fracking, she's been against it for 12 years. Defund the police, she's been against that forever. She gave all that stuff up very wrongly, very horribly, and everybody's laughing at it, okay? They're all laughing at it. She gave up at least 12 and probably 14 or 15 different policies. Like, she was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went out, wait a minute, I'm talking now, if you don't mind, please.
He's talking now. I'm talking now, mammy. Shut your mouth, mammy. I'm talking, mammy. Shut your mouth. Now, this is the question I have to ask you guys. Why did ABC keep the hot mics on? There was a rule. They said that one of the rules were, excuse me, no hot mics. Why did they keep Kamala Harris's hot mic on the whole battle? See, you know, I find it funny. The Democrats are real conniving and slimy. Trump had beef with ABC. He still decided to do the debate with ABC, right? And then they pull this nonsense on him. At least CNN had more class. They put in the stipulations, no hot mics. Why did they had Kamala Harris's mic on the whole battle? Why do I hear her cackling? Talking while he's talking. Shut your damn mouth. Why do I hear her talking? Doesn't make no sense.
Does that sound familiar? She went out.
She didn't like that. She's not used to getting talked back to.
She went out in Minnesota and wanted to let criminals that killed people, that burned down Minneapolis, she went out and raised money to get them out of jail.
That's a fact. She did. She raised money for people who burnt down police precincts, police stations, looted and robbed businesses. She started GoFundMe for those people. That's a fact.
She did things that nobody would ever think of. Now she wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison. This is a radical left liberal that would do this. She wants to confiscate your guns, and she will never allow...
Somebody just nailed it on the head. Hackman says, everything is giggles with Kamala Harris. That's a fact. Why is she always giggling? She's smiling. We talking about real issues here. She's giggling and smiling. What's wrong with this woman?
Fracking in Pennsylvania. If she won the election, fracking in Pennsylvania will end on day one. Just to finish, one thing so important in my opinion. So I got the oil business going like nobody has ever done before. When they took over, they got rid of it, started getting rid of it, and the prices were going up the roof. They immediately let these guys go to where they were. I would have been 5 times, 4 times, 5 times higher, because you're talking about 3.5 years ago. They got it up to where I was because they had no choice, because the prices of energy were quadrupling and doubling. You saw what happened to gasoline. So they said, let's go back to Trump. But if she won the election, the day after that election, they'll go back to destroying our country. And
Talk
oil
about
will
it.
be dead. Fossil fuel will be dead. We'll go back to windmills, and we'll go back to...
We're going to go back to windmills, water pumps, water wells, gas-powered lights, candles.
Solar, when they need a whole desert to get some energy to come out. You ever see a solar plant? By the way, I'm a big fan of solar, but they take 400, 500.
You're going to be charging your iPhone on a windmill with the Biden administration.
100 acres of desert soil. These are not good things for the environment, as she understands.
Thank you.
Lindsay, thank you. We have an election in just 56 days. And I want to talk about the peaceful transfer of power, which, of course, we all know is a cornerstone of our democracy, and the role of a president in a moment of crisis. Mr. President, on January 6th, you told your supporters to march to the Capitol. You said you would be right there with them. The country and the world.
I need y'all to hit the like button right now. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button right now. I need y'all to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button right now. It's a fact. Pin that. Let me pin Sinclair's comment. Yeah, like, subscribe, turn on the notification. That's a fact right there. Put some respect on Sinclair.
The officers coming under attack. Aides in the West Wing say you watched it unfold on television off the Oval Office. You did send out tweets, but it was more than 2 hours before you sent out that video message telling your supporters to go home. Is there anything you regret about what you did on that day?
You just said a thing that isn't covered. Peacefully and patriotically, I said during my speech, not later on. Peacefully and patriotically, and nobody on the other side was killed. Ashley Babbitt was shot.
Now, let me ask y'all this: why they don't give Trump credit for that? He did say that. Now, was it hours later? Did he take his damn time? Did he drag his feet? I would say yes. But he did say. You know, he did put out a video. He told people to go home, protest peacefully, go home. You know, it's time to go home. He did do that. The Democrats make it seem like he was out there with the rest of the people. He was in the White House chilling, probably eating a fondue plate. Probably played a couple rounds of golf at the Mar-a-Lago. Took a nap. You know he loved McDonald's. He probably had some McDonald's. Somebody tapped him on the shoulder. He was like, "Yo, they're storming the Capitol." He said, "They're storming what?" So hold on, y'all. Seinfeld is on. I'll deal with this after a couple of episodes of Seinfeld. He watched about 2 or 3 episodes. He had a couple laughs, Then he decided to make a video and tell people to go home. That was pretty much his itinerary that day. But the Democrats try to make it seem like he he didn't tell people. He told people to go home. He told people, listen, man, go home. Yada yada yada. Listen, man. Listen. Did he drag his feet? Yes, he dragged his feet. Did he amp people up at the rally? Yes. But I mean, he did tell people to go home. Protest peacefully. He did do that.
By an out-of-control police officer. that should have never, ever shot her. It's a disgrace. But we didn't do this group of people that have been treated so badly. I ask, what about all the people that are pouring into our country and killing people that she allowed to pour in? She was the border czar. Remember that. She was the border czar. She doesn't want to be called the border czar because she's embarrassed by the border. In fact, she said at the beginning, well, I'm surprised you're not talking about the border yet. That's because she knows what a bad job they've done. What about those people? When are they going to be prosecuted? When are these people from countries all over the world, not just South America?
That's a good question.
They're coming in from all over the world, David. All over the world. And crime rates are down all over the world because of it.
But let me just
when
ask
are those, David, when are those people going to be prosecuted?
That's a good question.
When are the people that burned down Minneapolis going to be prosecuted?
That's a good question.
Or in Seattle. They went into Seattle. They took over a big percentage of the city of Seattle. When are those people going to be prosecuted?
That's a good question.
But let me just ask you.
You might ask her that question.
You were the president. You were watching it unfold on television. It's a very simple question as we move forward toward another election. Is there anything you regret about what you did on that day? Yes or no?
I had nothing to do with that other than they asked me to make a speech. I showed up for a speech. I said, I think it's going to be big. I went to Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington, D.C., and the mayor put it back in writing, as you know. I said, you know, this is going to be a very big rally or whatever you want to call it. And again, it wasn't done by me. It was done by others. I said, I'd like to give you 10,000 National Guard or soldiers. They rejected me. Nancy Pelosi rejected me. It was just 2 weeks ago. Her daughter has a tape of her saying she is fully responsible for what happened. They want to get rid of that tape. It would have never happened if Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington did their jobs. I wasn't responsible.
Why did Nancy Pelosi deny the national security, the National Guard to be at the rally that day?
Oh, Pyro, you going to bed, nigga.
Why did Nancy Pelosi do that? Why did the mayor, Nancy Pelosi, do that? Why did they do that? Why aren't we looking at Nancy Pelosi as responsible for that?
Oh, Pyro, you going to bed, nigga.
The mayor of D.C. Why are we not looking at them and say, well, you guys should have hired the National Guard and tell them to come down here for this?
Oh, Pyro, you going to bed, nigga.
He's waking it up.
For security. Nancy Pelosi was responsible. She didn't do her job.
The question was about you as president, not about former Speaker Pelosi, but I do want Vice President Harris to respond here.
I was at the Capitol on January 6th. I was the vice president-elect. I was also an acting senator. I was there. And on that day, the President of the United States incited a violent mob to attack our nation's capital, to desecrate our nation's capital. On that day, 140 law enforcement officers were injured, and some died. And understand, the former president has been indicted and impeached for exactly that reason. But this is not an isolated situation. Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches.
Oh, the tiki torch mob. She's talking about the tiki torch mobs. They went to Home Depot, got a bunch of tiki torches. With a tiki torch mob.
Oh, Pyro, you going to bed, nigga.
That's what she's talking about. Okay.
Spewing anti-Semitic hate. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side. Let's remember that when it came to the Proud Boys, a militia, the former president said, stand back and stand by. So for everyone watching who remembers what January 6th was, I say we don't have to go back.
You know, I find it very interesting, you know, and Trump, you know, I don't feel like Trump is really calling it out. Because, you know, she mentions all of these, you know, these weird people kind of supporting Trump, like the Proud Boys, the Tiki Torch guys. But why aren't they? Why is it Trump? Trump should have called out, hey, man, you got Antifa pulling up and they support y'all. They burning down cities, looting, robbing, burning down police stations. Most of them are liberals and Democrats. They were supporting you. I don't see you shunning them. I don't see you, rejecting and repudiating them. Trump should have called that out. Trump should have said, "Well, you got Antifa, you got BLM burning down police stations, looting. You're not calling them out. You're not rejecting and repudiating them." He should have called that out. He should have called that out. He should have called that out.
Let's not go back. We're not going back. It's time to turn the page. And if that was a bridge too far for you, well, there is a place in our campaign for you to stand for country.
Somebody said Trump got way too angry. I ain't gonna lie. I thought he should have turned down his energy just a tad bit. I think he should have turned down his energy just a tad bit. Like during the middle part of the battle, I felt like he should have turned down his energy just a little bit. I felt like he was a little bit too amped during the middle part of the battle. His energy, cause she started to calm down, started to calm down. And I was like, you know what, Trump, he's a little too amped right now. He got to calm down just a little bit.
To stand for our democracy, to stand for rule of law, and to end the chaos, and to end the approach that is about attacking the foundations of our democracy because you don't like the outcome.
But you see, it's all tricknology. It's all tricknology to the brain, though. Because let me explain something. Let me explain why it's all tricknology to the brain. And I'm willing to bet you're probably a man. The one that said Trump came in too angry. See, to the male brain, even to the female brain, it's always gonna look away when a woman is soft-spoken. When a woman is soft-spoken and a man is speaking loudly, psychologically, it's always gonna look off to you in the brain. It's gonna always look like, oh, a man is just coming in too hot. He's too aggressive with her. It's always gonna look like that psychologically to the brain when you're a man. So really, it's really tricknology. It's just too, it's too aesthetics to a debate. But when you're debating a woman, see, if Trump was debating a man and he came in with that type of fire, it would have been met with fire. He would have spoken loudly, then the man would have spoken loudly. But when a woman is soft-spoken and a man is speaking loudly, psychologically to your brain, it tells you, oh, he's just too angry. He's too hype. It's like anytime you see, like break it down like this. If you see a couple, let's say you see a couple on the street and the man is yelling at the top of his lungs and the girl is just, trying to speak to him, calm down, baby, calm down, just calm down. It looks crazy. It looked like the guy is abusive, right? It looked like the guy is abusive to her, right? That's what I'm saying. Psychologically to your brain, when you see a man yelling and a woman soft-spoken, psychologically to your brain is telling you that he's coming in too hot. He's too angry, but it's a debate. It's too aesthetics to a debate. He's just coming in, maybe he's just passionate. He wants to get his point across. It's a debate. Something to think about. Let's continue, though.
Outcome, and be clear on that point. Donald Trump, the candidate, has said in this election there will be a bloodbath if this and the outcome of this election is not to his liking. Let's turn the page on this. Let's not go back. Let's chart a course for the future and not go backwards to the past.
Let me just follow up here.
It was a different term, and it was a term that related to energy because they have destroyed our energy business. That was where bloodbath was. Also, on Charlottesville, that story has been, as you would say, debunked. Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity, Jesse, all of these people, they covered it. If they go an extra sentence, they will see it was perfect. It was debunked in almost every newspaper, but they still bring it up, just like they bring 2025 up. They bring all of this stuff up. I ask you this. You talk about the Capitol. Why are we allowing these millions of people to come through on the southern border?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
And I'll tell you what I would do, and I would be very proud to do it. I would say we would both leave this debate right now. I'd like to see her go down to Washington, D.C. during this debate because we're wasting a lot of time.
That's a fact. Why she not in the White House doing the work now? Why is she not in the White House doing the work now? She should have left the debate and done some real work. I would love to see that.
Go down to, because she's been so bad, it's so ridiculous.
She has been bad.
Go down
Terrible.
to Washington, D.C., and let her sign a bill to close up the border because they have the right to do it. They don't need bills. They have the right to do it. The President of the United States, you'll get him out of bed, you'll wake him up at 4 o'clock.
Get Sleepy Joe out of bed. Get Sleepy Joe, Benadryl Joe, NyQuil Joe, DayQuil Joe, nighttime and daytime cough Joe out of bed. Listen, I know your bedtime is 4 p.m. Which is crazy. It's crazy that his bedtime is 4 p.m. You got to think it's still summer. The sun is still out by like 7 o'clock. The sun is still out by 7 o'clock. He's in bed by 4. That's crazy.
O'clock in the afternoon, you say, come on down to the office. Let's sign a bill. If he signs a bill that the border is closed, all he has to do is say it to the Border Patrol, who are phenomenal. If they do that, the border is closed.
Mr.
Those
President,
people are killing many people, unlike J6.
We talked immigration here tonight. I do want to focus on this next issue to both of you because it really brings us this into focus, truth in these times that we're living in. Mr. President, for 3.5 years after you lost the 2020 election, you repeatedly falsely claimed that you won, many times saying you won in a landslide. In the past couple of weeks leading up to this debate, you have said, quote, you lost by a whisker, that you, quote, didn't quite make it, that you...
Did they steal the election from Trump? Let me know. Do y'all think they stole the election from Trump? I want to know in the chat. I'm looking in the chat. Did they steal the election from Trump?
Came up a little bit short. Are you now acknowledging that you lost in 2020?
No, I don't acknowledge that at all.
But
I
you
said
did
that
say
sarcastically.
that.
You know that. It was said, oh, we lost by a whisker. That was said sarcastically. Look, there's so much proof. All you have to do is look at it. And they should have sent it back to the legislatures for approval. I got almost 75 million votes, the most votes any sitting...
Salute to Tatted Up for subscribing. I see he said I subscribe, my man. Salute to Tatted Up.
President has ever gotten. I was told if I got 63, which was what I got in 2016, you can't be beaten. The election, people should never be thinking about it. An election is fraudulent. We need two things. We need walls. And we have to have it. We have to have borders, and we have to have good elections. Our elections are bad. And a lot of these illegal immigrants coming in, they're trying to get them to vote. They can't even speak English. They don't even know what country they're in practically. And these people are trying to get them to vote. And that's why they're allowing them to come into our country.
I did watch all of these pieces of video. I didn't detect the sarcasm, lost by a whisker. We didn't quite make it. And we should just point out here as clarification, and you know this, you and your allies, 60 cases in front of many judges, many of them Republican.
No judge looked at it.
And said
they said we didn't have standing. That's the other thing. They said we didn't have standing, a technicality. Can you imagine a system where a person in an election doesn't have standing? The President of the United States doesn't have standing. That's how we lost. If you look at the facts, and I'd love to have you'll do a special on it. I'll show you Georgia, and I'll show you Wisconsin, and I'll show you Pennsylvania, and I'll show you. We have so many facts and statistics, but you know what? That doesn't matter because we have to solve the problem that we have right now. That's old news. And the problem that we have right now is we have a nation in decline. And they have put it into decline.
He ain't lying.
A nation that is dying, David.
He ain't lying.
Mr. President, thank you. Vice President Harris, you heard the president there tonight. He said he didn't say that he lost by a whisker. So he still believes he did not lose the election that was won by President Biden and yourself. But I do want to ask you about something that's come up in the last couple of days. This was a post from President Trump about this upcoming election just weeks away. He said, when I win, those people who cheated, and then he lists donors, voters, election officials, he says will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, which will include long-term prison sentences. One of your campaign's top lawyers responded saying, "We won't let Donald Trump intimidate us. We won't let him suppress the vote." Is that what you believe he's trying to do here?
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. So let's be clear about that. And clearly he is having a very difficult time processing that. But we cannot afford to have a president of the United States who attempts, as he did in the past, to upend the will of the voters in a free and fair election. And I'm going to tell you that I have traveled the world as Vice President of the United States. And
You've traveled the world, but you haven't been to the border, which is absolutely crazy. You've been to Russia. You've been to Paris. You've been to Jamaica. You've been all around the world, but you haven't took your ass to the damn border. Crazy.
in fact lose that election. It leads one to believe that perhaps we do not have in the candidate to my right the temperament or the ability to not be confused about fact. That's deeply troubling, and the American people deserve better.
I'll give you 1 minute to respond, Mr. President.
Let me just say about world leaders. Viktor Orban, one of the most respected men, they call him a strong man. He's a tough person, smart.
Who is this leader in Hungary? I need to look him up. He was speaking highly of Trump. I need to look into this. Who is this leader of Hungary? Have y'all heard of him before? The leader of Hungary. Speaking highly of Trump. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Again, if you want to be a part of the dialogue and discussion, please put it in the super chat. We put respect on the super chatters. We put respect on the donors.
And Biden put it back on day one, but he ended the XL pipeline. The XL pipeline in our country, he ended that. But he let the Russians build a pipeline going all over Europe and heading into Germany, the biggest pipeline in the world. Look, Viktor Orban said it. He said the most respected, most feared person is Donald Trump. We had no problems when Trump was president. But when this weak, pathetic man that you saw...
Make no mistake, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, they are weak and pathetic. The administration has been weak, pathetic, incompetent. Make no mistake about it. That's a fact.
Can't stand her. But he got 14 million votes. They threw him out. She got 0 votes. And when she ran, she was the first one to leave because she failed. And now she's running. I don't understand it, but I'm okay with it because
your time is
I think
up.
we're going to do very well.
We've got a lot more to get to.
Turning now to the Israel-Hamas war and the hostages who are still...
Now take a gander at this topic. She caught a shellacking on this one. I'm going to be honest with you. I think she started to bleed on this topic. She was bleeding on this topic. I'm going to be honest with you. Let's get to it.
Still being held, Americans among them. Vice President Harris, in December, you said, quote, Israel has a right to defend itself, but you added, quote, it matters how, saying international humanitarian law must be respected. Israel must do more to protect innocent civilians. You said that 9 months ago. Now an estimated 40,000 Palestinians are dead. Nearly 100 hostages remain. Just last week, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said there's not a deal in the making. President Biden has not been able to break through the stalemate. How would you do it?
Well, let's understand how we got here. On October 7, Hamas, a terrorist organization, slaughtered 1,200 Israelis. Many of them young people who were simply attending a concert. Women were horribly raped. And so absolutely, I said then, I say now, Israel has a right to defend itself. We would. And how it does so matters. Because it is also true, far too many innocent Palestinians have been killed. Children, mothers. What we know is that this war must end. It must end immediately, and the way it will end is we need a ceasefire deal and we need the hostages out. And so we will continue to work around the clock on that. Work around the clock, also understanding that we must chart a course for a two-state solution. And in that solution. There must be security for the Israeli people and Israel, and in equal measure for the Palestinians. But the one thing I will assure you always,
she been hating on Israel, which is funny to me. She want to act like she's so pro-Israel, but she was the one hating on Israel. She wasn't, you know what I mean? She, you know, it's interesting how, you know, she kind of flip-flops on a lot of things too, you know?
I will always give Israel the ability to defend itself, in particular as it relates to Iran.
Flip-flopper.
And any threat that Iran and its proxies pose to Israel. But we must have a two-state solution where we can rebuild Gaza, where the Palestinians have security, self-determination, and the dignity they so rightly deserve.
President Trump, how would you negotiate with Netanyahu and also Hamas in order to get the hostages out and prevent the killing of more innocent civilians in Gaza?
If I were president, it would have never started. If I were president, Russia would have never, ever, I know Putin very well, he would have never, and there was no threat of it either, by the way, for 4 years, have gone into Ukraine and killed millions of people when you add it up, far worse than people understand what's going on over there. But when she mentions about Israel, all of a sudden, she hates Israel. She wouldn't even meet with Netanyahu when he went to Congress to make a very important speech.
Why wouldn't she meet with Netanyahu?
She refused to be there because she was at a sorority party of hers.
She was too busy at a sorority party, you know, popping ass with Meg Thee Stallion.
Oh, Pyro, you going to bed?
You know, she was at the sorority. You know, she was chilling with the Qs while they was dancing with candy canes. She wasn't taking care of the damn governmental business and foreign policy.
To go to the sorority party. She hates Israel. If she's president, I believe that Israel will not exist within 2 years from now. And I've been pretty good at predictions, and I hope I'm wrong about that one. She hates Israel. At the same time, in her own way, she hates the Arab population because the whole place is going to get blown up. Arabs, Jewish people, Israel will be gone. It would have never happened. Iran was broke under Donald Trump.
Iran was broke. He's right.
$3 billion because they took off all the sanctions that I had. Iran had no money for Hamas.
No money.
Or any of the 28 different spheres of terror.
Spheres of terror.
Terror. Horrible terror. They had no money. It was a big story, and you know it. You covered it very well, actually. They had no money for terror. They were broke. Now they're a rich nation, and now what they're doing is they're spreading that money around. Look at what's happening with the Houthis and Yemen. Look at what's going on in the Middle East. This would have never happened. I will get that settled and fast, and I'll get the war with Ukraine and Russia ended. If I'm president-elect, I'll get it done before even becoming president.
Vice President Harris, he says you hate Israel.
That's absolutely not true. I have my entire career and life supported Israel and the Israeli people. He knows that. He's trying to, again, divide and distract from the reality, which is it is very well known that Donald Trump is weak and wrong on national security and foreign policy. It is well known.
Now, can we talk about this for a second? She's claiming Trump is weak on foreign policy. But Kamala Harris, let's look at the record. Let's look at the record. Let's compare the records when it comes to foreign policy and who's weak. She lost this one because she totally lost me on this one. Let's look at the records comparatively. Trump in office, no war with Israel and Hamas. No war with Ukraine and Russia. No China swarming the seas of Taiwan. That's his record in terms of foreign policy. Your record in foreign policy, you and Biden's record on foreign policy. China swarming the seas of Taiwan. Russia invading Ukraine. Hamas running into Israel. So, I mean, if we're looking at your record comparatively, You have dropped the ball on foreign policy, foreign politics. You have been doing a terrible job.
That he admires dictators.
See, she can't talk about all the great job she's been doing in terms of foreign policy. She has to go back to, oh, Trump, you love dictators. You love being cool with dictators. Your best friend is Putin. She can't talk about her record. She can't say, well, we did a great job with Israel. We did a great job with Russia and Ukraine. Because they're doing a terrible job. This is where she lost me. She lost me completely on this round.
Wants to be a dictator on day one, according to himself. It is well known that he said of Putin that he can do whatever the hell he wants and go into Ukraine. It is well known that he said when Russia went into Ukraine, it was brilliant. It is well known he exchanged love letters with Kim Jong-un. And it is absolutely well known.
Who won the debate?
That these dictators and autocrats are rooted.
Who won the debate? Out of 4,816 votes, Trump has 71%. Kamala Harris, 29%. Did she lose the debate? Did she lose? Did she lose the debate tonight?
Consistently weak and wrong on
Vice
national
President
security,
Harris.
including the importance of a.
They're cutting her off. They're cutting her short. Get to the topic, woman. They're cutting her short.
Holding and respecting in highest regard our military.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
They're the ones, and she's the one that caused it, that's weak on national security by allowing every nation last month for the year, 168 different countries sending people into our country. Their crime rates are way down. Putin endorsed her last week, said, I hope she wins. And I think he meant it, because what he's gotten away with is absolutely incredible. It wouldn't have happened with me.
Somebody said, who do I think won? I think Trump won. I think Trump won. I think Trump won this debate. I think he won. I think he won this debate. It wasn't easy. Was it a dogfight? It was definitely a dogfight. She didn't make it easy on him. She did a pretty good job tonight. I'm gonna give her flowers. She did a pretty good job tonight. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. You got to remember, she's the incumbent. It's always going to be harder for the incumbent. Anybody that's in office, it's always going to be harder for them.
The leaders of other countries think that they're weak and incompetent, and they are. They're grossly incompetent. And I just ask one question. Why does Biden go in and kill the Keystone Pipeline and approve the single biggest deal that Russia's ever made, Nord Stream 2, the biggest pipeline anywhere in the world going to Germany and all over Europe? Because they're weak and they're ineffective. And Biden, by the way,
President
gets paid
Trump,
a lot of money.
Thank you. We have a lot of issues to get to.
We'll be right back with much more of this historic ABC News presidential debate from the National Constitution Center right here in Philadelphia. Back in a moment.
They went to commercial break and all that. Hey, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I need y'all to hit that like button. I need y'all to hit that subscribe button. Not now, but right now. In 1 second. I need y'all to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me get to the next portion of this battle here. Yeah, we're right here. All right, let's get back into it.
That we must defend Ukraine from Russia, from Vladimir Putin, to defend their sovereignty, their democracy, that it's in America's best interest to do so, arguing that if Putin wins, he may be emboldened to move even further into other countries. You have said you would solve this war in 24 hours. You said so just before the break tonight. How exactly would you do that? And I want to ask you a very simple question tonight. Do you want Ukraine to win this war?
I want the war to stop. I want to save lives that are being uselessly, people being killed by the millions. It's the millions. It's so much worse than the numbers that you're getting, which are fake numbers. Look, we're in for 250 billion or more because they don't ask Europe, which is a much bigger beneficiary to getting this thing done than we are. They're in for $150 billion less because Biden and you don't have the courage to ask Europe like I did with NATO. They paid billions and billions.
Billions and billions.
Hundreds of billions of dollars when I said either you pay up or we're not going to protect you anymore. So that's maybe one of the reasons they don't like me as much as they like weak people. But you take a look at what's happening. We're in for 250 to 260.
Why is she always smiling? Stop smiling. Stop cackling. You see her smiling right here? Look at that. Get the Kool-Aid off your grill, Kamala. Get the Kool-Aid smile off your grill.
75 billion. They're into 100 to 150. They should be forced to equalize. With that being said, I want to get the war settled. I know Zelensky very well, and I know Putin very well. I have a good relationship, and they respect your president, okay? They respect me. They don't respect Biden. How would you respect him? Why? For what reason?
For what
he
reason?
Hasn't even
I
made
agree.
a phone call in 2 years to Putin. Hasn't spoken to anybody. They don't even try and get it. That is a war that's dying to be settled. I will get it settled before I even become president. If I win, when I'm president-elect, and what I'll do is I'll speak to one, I'll speak to the other, I'll get them together. That war would have never happened. And in fact, when I saw Putin after I left, unfortunately left because our country has gone to hell. But after I left, when I saw him building up soldiers, he did it after I left. I said, oh, he must be negotiating. It must be a good, strong point of negotiation. Well, it wasn't, because Biden had no idea how to talk to him. He had no idea how to stop it. And now you have millions of people dead, and it's only getting worse, and it could lead to World War III. Don't kid yourself, David. We're playing with World War III, and we have a president that we don't even know if he's... Where is our president? We don't even...
Where is Sleepy Joe? Where is he?
Oh, my God!
That's a good damn question. I ain't gonna lie. Let me stop stopping it.
Know if he's a president.
And just to clarify
they
here,
threw him out of a campaign like a dog.
They definitely threw him out the White House. I agree.
But we have a president,
Mr. President,
that doesn't know he's alive.
your time is up. Just to clarify in the question, do you believe it's in the U.S. best interest for Ukraine to win this war, yes or no?
I think it's the U.S. best interest to get this war finished and just get it done.
All right.
Negotiate a deal.
I need y'all to hit that like button. Hit that like button right now. Hit that like button right now. Again, if you want to be a part of the dialogue and the discussion, please put it in the super chat. Put it in a donation. We put respect on all super chatters. We read all donations.
Human lives from being destroyed.
I want to take this to Vice President Harris. I want to get your thoughts on support for Ukraine in this moment, but also as Commander-in-Chief, if elected, how would you deal with Vladimir Putin, and would it be any different from what we're seeing from President Biden?
Well, first of all, it's important to remind the former president you're not running against Joe Biden, you're running against me.
I can hardly tell. You got the same bad ideas. You both are responsible for messing up the inflation in the economy. It's hard to tell who he's running against. You know, is it Joe Biden? Is it you? Like, I don't know.
Through force to change territorial boundaries, to defy one of the most important international rules and norms, which is the importance of sovereignty and territorial integrity. And I met with President Zelensky. I shared with him American intelligence about how he could defend himself. Days later, I went to NATO's eastern flank, to Poland and Romania. And through the work that I and others did, we brought 50 countries together to support Ukraine in its righteous defense. And because of our support, because of the air defense, the ammunition, the artillery, the javelins, the Abrams tanks that we have provided, Ukraine stands as an independent and free country. If Donald Trump were president, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv right now.
I disagree because, I mean, let's be honest, Kamala. It sounds good that you're saying this. If Trump was in office, Putin would be in Kyiv right now. But the reality is they invaded Ukraine on your watch. When Trump was in office, They didn't invade Ukraine. You know, everything was at peace. So, you know, you're the one responsible for all these foreign things happening. It's hard for us to believe that you're the right woman for the job in terms of foreign politics. When you got Russia, Ukraine, Hamas, Israel, Taiwan, China. How are we supposed to trust you when you got all these issues going on? None of this was happening under Trump's watch. It happened under your watch. So, you know, she's going to have an uphill battle with this foreign policy stuff. I'm going to be honest with you.
Please, I'll give you a minute here.
Putin would be sitting in Moscow, and he wouldn't have lost 300,000 men and women, but he would have been sitting in Moscow. Quiet, please.
Somebody said, don't quit your day job. Too late.
But eventually, you know, he's got a thing that other people don't have. He's got nuclear weapons. They don't ever talk about that. He's got nuclear weapons. Nobody ever thinks about that. And eventually, maybe he'll use them, and maybe he hasn't been that threatening. But
you Kamala Harris fan, y'all are so butthurt tonight. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. You know, for a group of people who claim y'all won tonight, y'all are sure acting like some sore losers tonight. I mean, y'all keep saying y'all won, but y'all like some sour pussies tonight. What's up with y'all? Why y'all so down? Turn that frown upside down. Y'all are real butthurt tonight. I don't know what it is. You know, y'all keep saying y'all won, but y'all the only ones butthurt tonight. I don't get it. All the sound bites Trump gave y'all, y'all feel like y'all won, but y'all still butthurt. I don't get it.
Oh, Pyro,
I don't get it.
Going to bed, nigga.
I truly don't get it. I don't get it.
just so you understand, they sent her to negotiate peace before this war started. 3 days later, he went in and he started the war because everything they said was weak and stupid. They said the wrong things. That war should have never started. She was the emissary. They sent her in to negotiate with Zelensky and Putin, and she did. And the war started 3 days later. And that's the kind of talent we have with her. She's worse than Biden. In my opinion, I think he's the worst president in the history of our country. She goes down as the worst vice president.
I agree.
But let me tell you something. She is a horrible negotiator. They sent her in to negotiate. As soon as they left, Putin did the invasion.
President Trump, thank you. You did bring up something. You said she went to negotiate with Vladimir Putin. Vice President Harris, have you?
Now they lied on Trump. Trump never said she negotiated with Putin. I think Trump was trying. They said, "Oh, Trump, oh, you lied about her negotiating with Putin." He never said she negotiated with Putin. He said that they sent her in to negotiate. He probably meant negotiate with Ukraine. But ABC, back to being conniving, back to lying, back to doing a little backhanded thing that they do. It is what it is. It came with the territory.
Friends, and not favor our enemies because you adore strong men instead of caring about democracy. And that is very much what is at stake here. The President of the United States is commander-in-chief, and the American people have a right to rely on a president who understands the significance of America's role and responsibility in terms of ensuring that there is stability and ensuring we stand up for our principles and not sell them for the benefit of personal flattery.
We've talked about Ukraine and Vladimir Putin. I do want to talk about Afghanistan. It came up in the first hour of this debate. I want to move on to Afghanistan.
Stoltenberg said Trump did the most amazing thing I've ever seen. He got these countries, the 28 countries at the time, to pay up. He said, I've never seen. He's the head of NATO. He said, I've never seen. For years, we were paying almost all of NATO. We were being ripped off by European nations, both on trade and on NATO. I got them to pay up by saying one of the statements you made before, if you don't pay, we're not going to protect you.
President
Otherwise,
Trump.
we would have never gotten it. He said it was one of the most incredible jobs that he's ever seen done.
Thank you. I want to turn to Afghanistan. It came up in the first hour of the debate, and we witnessed a poignant moment today on Capitol Hill, honoring the soldiers who died in the chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan. I do want to ask the Vice President, do you believe you bear any responsibility in the way that...
Let's see if she takes any responsibility for what happened in Afghanistan. I doubt she will. Remember, look at her track record. She doesn't take account because we focus so much on Trump not taking accountability, whether it be for January 6th, whether it be for putting kids in cages, whether it be for him being labeling him a criminal, a tyrant. But let's see if she doesn't take accountability for the economy and the inflation. She doesn't take accountability for immigration and the border. Let's see if she takes accountability for what happened in Afghanistan.
withdrawal played out.
Well, I will tell you, I agreed with President Biden's decision to pull out of Afghanistan. 4 presidents said they would, and Joe Biden did. And as a result, America's taxpayers are not paying the $300 million a day we were paying for that endless war. And as of today, there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world, the first time this century. But let's understand how we got to where we are. Donald Trump, when he was president, negotiated one of
Notice, she's going back to Donald Trump. The question was, do you take any account? Do you, not Donald Trump, not even Joe Biden. You, Kamala, do you take any accountability? Clearly, you don't.
weakest deals you can imagine. He calls himself a deal maker. Even his national security advisor said it was a weak, terrible deal. And here's how it went down. He bypassed the Afghan government. He negotiated directly with a terrorist organization called the Taliban. The negotiation involved the Taliban getting 5,000 Taliban terrorists released. And get this. And the president at the time invited the Taliban to camp.
Spit it out. Get this. Spit it out already. I know you've been practicing for a week now with the Rocky IV music playing in the background, prepping for this debate. Spit it out already.
David, a place of storied significance for us as Americans, a place where we honor the importance of American diplomacy, where we invite and receive respected world leaders.
Sinclair says they are giving Taliban close to 40 million and gave them the Bagram base. They give them 83 million a month. That's a fact. Biden administration, they funding the Taliban. They funding them. All that equipment they gave them.
And this former president, as president, invited them to Camp David because he does not again appreciate the role and responsibility of the President of the United States to be commander-in-chief with a level of respect.
Remember what the question was. Do you take any accountability for Afghanistan? Remember what the question was. Because, they love to talk about Trump. Oh, Trump don't like staying on topic. Trump don't like staying on top. She took no accountability for what happened in Afghanistan. Then she goes on to talk about Trump. The question was about you, Kamala. Do you take accountability for Afghanistan? You did not answer that. So, they love to say Trump don't talk about this and Trump, he doesn't stay on topic, but they're not going to mention how Kamala Harris diverted, tried to wiggle out, tried to escape. She ran from the questioning. They're not going to talk about that on or your CNN and your MSNBC. They're going to. I guarantee you. Mark my words. Watch CNN tomorrow. Watch MSNBC tomorrow. Watch ABC tomorrow. They're going to talk about the pets and they're eating your pets. They're going to talk about that. They're gonna talk about how the ABC corrected Trump on the 9 months, the abortion on the 9th month or something. They're gonna talk about that because that's what these people are into. They're into sound bites. They're not into facts. They're not into hard questioning. They're not into accountability. They're into sound bites. We live in a sound bite culture. People are into sound bites. They don't want the whole story anymore. They just want the sound bite moment. But we are watching this in the totality. And she caught a shellacking, in my opinion.
And this gets back to the point of how he has consistently disparaged and demeaned members of our military, fallen soldiers, and the work that we must do to uphold the strength and the respect of the United States of America around the world.
Vice President Harris, thank you. President Trump, your response to her saying that you began the negotiations with the Taliban.
So, if you take a look at that period of time, the Taliban was killing our soldiers, a lot of them, with snipers. And I got involved with the Taliban because the Taliban was doing the killing. That's the fighting force within Afghanistan. They don't bother doing that because, they deal with the wrong people all the time. But I got involved. And Abdul is the head of the Taliban. He is still the head of the Taliban. And I told Abdul, don't do it anymore. You do it anymore, you're going to have problems.
Now, I'm not going to lie. The leader of Al-Qaeda is not called Abdul. Maybe he just, had a brain fart. Yeah, I don't think Abdul. People looked it up. People love majoring in the minors. The story has been verified. Trump has he's told this story 100 times. So
Pyro, you going to bed, nigga.
So the story has been verified that it did happen. But he said Abdul instead of the name of the real guy's name.
And he said, why do you send me a picture of my house? I said, you're going to have to figure that out, Abdul. And for 18 months, we had nobody killed. We did have an agreement negotiated by Mike Pompeo. It was a very good agreement. The reason it was good, we were getting out. We would have been out faster than them, but we wouldn't have lost the soldiers. We wouldn't have left many Americans behind, and we wouldn't have left $85 billion worth of brand new, beautiful military equipment behind. And just to finish, they blew it.
They blew it.
The agreement said you have to do this, and they didn't do it. They didn't do it. The agreement was terminated by us because they didn't do what they were supposed to do.
I want to move on.
And these people did the worst withdrawal and, in my opinion, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. And by the way, that's why Russia attacked Ukraine, because they saw how incompetent
That's a fact. I believe that as well. I think the Russians saw how incompetent, weak, how bad the leadership was, and they said, you know what? I think it's time for us to go again, to go into Ukraine. I agree with Trump on it. That makes sense. We got 1,000 people in the building. I need y'all to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Again, if you want to be a part of the discussion and the dialogue, please put it in the super chat. Please put it in the super chat and the donation. I want people to donate. I want people to be a part of the discussion and the dialogue. Let's continue.
President Trump, thank you. I want to move on now to race and politics in this country, Mr. President.
We're going to go into the Blackgate, Kamala Harris Blackgate.
Said of Vice President Harris, quote, "I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black."
Somebody says stop with the sound bites. This is my show, sir. You can take your high yellow, pale, black, Hispanic, multiculturalist, or whatever you are, ass out of here if you don't like my sound bites. Because I don't need you. I'll let the welfare feed you, I ain't? Anybody can catch it on here.
And now she wants to be known as black. I want to ask a bigger picture question here tonight. Why do you believe it's appropriate to weigh in on the racial identity of your opponent?
I don't, and I don't care. I don't care what she is. I don't care. You make a big deal out of something, I couldn't care less. Whatever she wants to be is okay with me.
But those were your words, so I'm asking.
I don't know. I mean, all I can say is I read where she was not black, that she put out, and I'll say that. And then I read that she was black, and that's okay. Either one was okay with me. That's up to her. That's up to her.
Vice President.
And what is Kamala here? Is she black? Indian? A multiculturalist? You know, listen, let me just say, before, because, you know, she's going to spurt out. She's going to go into Trump's past about, you know, the Central Park 5 and how he didn't give black people apartments in the Trump building and all this other stuff. But listen, it's nobody's fault that we don't know what Kamala Harris is, whether she's black, white, multiculturalist, Jamaican, Irish, Indian. It's nobody's fault but hers. She's the one that has been walking this line. Because listen, I could pull up articles. AP News. The first Indian woman becomes senator. Not black woman, Indian woman. Then you go back into her history. Kamala Harris becomes district attorney. She's a black woman. So she's the one teetering this line who's never let it be known if she's black, Indian. She's the one going through this identity crisis who don't know what she is, whether she's black, white, Indian. It's nobody's fault that you've been teetering this line and nobody know what you are. It's nobody's fault but your own, because you haven't been letting it be known. You haven't been coming in terms with your identity. It's nobody's fault but your own that you haven't identified yourself and let it be known who you are, what you are. You're the one, cooking masala chicken with Indian influencers. Not mad at that. You're the one on BET talking to Taraji P. Henson. So you're the one teetering the line. You're the one pandering to all these different communities, acting like you're this multiculturalist, but not showing any solidarity to one community and letting it be known that you identify as that. So whose fault is that? That's not Trump's fault. That's not the black community's fault for saying that you're not a black woman. It's nobody's fault but your own, because you haven't identified yourself. You haven't aligned yourself. Somebody says she's both. She is not a black woman. We've already addressed this. We've already did shows on this. She is not a black woman. Let's get into her biological. Let's get into her genealogical pool. Her father was half white and Jamaican. Her mother, a full-blooded Indian woman. Do you know anything about genealogical pools? If you have an Indian mother and a half white, half Jamaican father, that does not make you an African American. And it damn sure doesn't make you a foundational black American. Foundational black Americans are people who have ancestors who went through slavery, Reconstruction, Jim Crow, Civil Rights era. She is not that. So let's put a cold blanket on her aligning herself, saying that she's a black woman. She's a multiculturalist at best. I'll even settle for biracial. I'll take biracial. If you want to say she's biracial, I'll take that. But she is not black. When someone, see, that's the thing with the Democrats. They wanna lump everybody that has a little bit of melanin into one pot. We not having that. She is not foundational black American. Her ancestors were not slaves in America. Her ancestors did not go through Reconstruction, civil rights, Jim Crow. So stop calling her black. That's all. That's all. You know? Because, you know, that's the thing with Democrats. They want to lump everybody into one pot and say, oh, yeah, they're all black. There's foundational black. Then you got the Caribbeans. Then you got the Africans. They are all not black. That's all.
President Harris, your thoughts on this?
I think it's...
How about you? Let me handle somebody real quick because give me 1 second, bro. Yeah, well, listen, we boot niggas out of here. I send niggas to the block party.
Oh, Paulo, you going to bed, nigga?
Don't think I'm not looking at that super. Don't think I'm not looking at that chat room. And I won't pack you up. That's on Pyro.
Paulo, you going to bed, nigga?
Don't think I won't pack you up. You know, you're talking crazy, and don't think I won't pack you up. I'm looking in there.
I mean, honestly, I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people. You know, I do believe that the vast majority of us know that we have so much more in common than what separates us, and we don't want this kind of approach that is just constantly trying to divide us, and especially by race. And let's remember how Donald Trump started. He was land, he owned buildings, and he was investigated because he refused to rent property to black families. Let's remember, this is the same individual who took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for the execution of 5 young black and Latino boys who were innocent, the Central Park 5. Took out a full-page ad calling for their execution. This is the same individual who spread birther lies about the first black president of the United States.
Obama was not black. See, that's what the Democrats do. They want to bunch us all together. Obama was not a black man. He was an African from Hawaii. They keep talking when they say black. Let me just tell you, when I say black, it refers to foundational black Americans. Listen, if you have a foundational black American parent, I consider you black. But if you got an African immigrant as a parent, I'm sorry, you are not black. If you have a Caribbean as a parent, I'm sorry, you are not black. You're Caribbean. You're melanated. You know, I'm sure your genealogical pool comes from Africa. I'm sure of it. But you are not foundational black American. The Democrats are trying to, and I feel passionate about this because the Democrats, they're trying to wipe foundational black American history away. They're trying to infiltrate us with tethers, erase our history, marginalize us, suppress our votes. I don't care what none of y'all say. This is my show. Y'all can get the hell out of here. You know? I don't care what none of you Kamala sexuals are saying. I still want to know what your pronouns are. What are you Kamala Harris pronouns? What are your pronouns? Do you identify as a party of four? A stop sign?
And I think the American people want better than that, want better than this, want someone who understands, as I do, I travel our country. We see in each other a friend. We see in each other a neighbor. We don't want a leader who is constantly trying to have Americans point their fingers at each other. I meet with people all the time who tell me, can we please just have discourse about how we're going to invest in the aspirations and the ambitions and the dreams of the American people? Knowing that regardless...
And we got to be honest about who's creating the division in this country. Like the Democrats keep acting like, you know, their hands are clean from the division. When you're the one pumping in the 30, 40, 50 homes that Trump is a tyrant, Trump is the dictator. You're the one pumping this in. You're the one pumping the division in the country. You're the one creating the rhetoric that got somebody on a roof, you know, attempting an assassination attempt. You're the ones creating the division in the country. I'm not saying that the Republicans are not doing it too, but the Democrats act like their hands are so clean. Your hands are not clean.
And if they pled guilty, then they pled, we're not guilty. But this is a person that has to stretch back years, 40, 50 years ago, because there's nothing now. I built one of the greatest economies in the history of the world, and I'm going to build it again. It's going to be bigger, better, and stronger. But they're destroying our economy. They have no idea what a good economy is. Their oil policies, every single policy. And remember this, she is Biden. You know, she's trying to get away from Biden. I don't know the gentleman, she says. She is Biden. The worst inflation we've ever had.
Worst.
A horrible economy because inflation has made it so bad. And she can't get away with that.
Thank you. Your time is up,
I
Lindsay.
want to respond to that, though. I want to just respond briefly.
How many rebuttals are they going to give her? Like I said, they gave her a rebuttal to the rebuttal to the rebuttal that was rebutted to.
Clearly, I am not Joe Biden, and I am certainly not Donald Trump. And what I do offer is a new generation of leadership for our country. One who believes.
You're offering us the same old, because your record shows that you're not doing anything. You haven't done anything of any type of notoriety while you've been in that office, woman. So what are you talking about, a new generation of leadership? You haven't been doing anything with the time there.
Businesses, which is why I have a plan. Let's talk about our plans and let's compare the plans. I have a plan to give startup businesses.
Anybody heard a plan tonight?
Tax deduction to pursue their ambitions, their innovation, their ideas, their hard work. I have a plan, $6,000 for young families for the first year of your child's life to help you in that most critical stage of your child's development. I have a plan that is about allowing people to be.
Why hasn't she implemented any of these plans while she's in office? She has to stop saying these things like she can't do the. If these plans are so good, why aren't you implementing them now? That's my issue. Implement them now if they're so good.
Assistance for first-time home buyers. That's the kind of conversation, I believe, David, that people really.
And that home buyer plan that she has, garbage. Doesn't benefit you and me. I promise you.
Tonight, as opposed to a conversation that is constantly about belittling and name calling. Let's turn the page.
Vice President
and move
Harris,
forward.
thank you. Let's turn to policy.
President
Let's
Trump,
turn back
we
to
have
policy.
to move on. President Trump.
Let's turn to policy,
She
please.
has a plan to defund the police. She has a plan to.
Notice how they turn Trump's mic down all the way. When Trump was talking and she was saying like little slide things on the side and stuff like that, you heard her clearly. But when she was talking and Trump, you know, he tried to come in and say something, you know, notice how his mic was turned all the way down. You could barely hear him. But when she was saying little slide things when he was talking, you heard her loud and clear. ABC, you did a terrible job tonight.
Confiscate everybody's gun.
President Trump,
She has
you
a
have to
plan
move
to
on to
not
other
allow
issues.
fracking in Pennsylvania or anywhere else.
Okay.
That's
Mr.
what her
President.
plan is until just recently.
I just need
Lindsay,
to
go ahead.
respond
President
because
Trump-
no, the
President
former
Trump-
president has said
No, I'm
something
sorry.
twice that I need to
No,
respond to.
I'm sorry.
No. We don't need you to respond. We're tired of you rebutting to the rebuttal that got rebutted to. How many rebuttals do you need? This woman has rebutted the rebuttal that was already rebutted to after the rebutted was rebutted, and then the rebutted was rebutted back to be rebutted, only to be rebutted again. How many rebuttals do you need? How many rebuttals do you need? Listen, the next presidential debate, you only get one rebuttal. One rebuttal a topic. We don't need a rebuttal to the rebuttal that got rebutted to.
President Trump, this is now your
Yes.
third time running for president. You have long vowed to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. You have failed to accomplish that. You now say you're going to keep Obamacare, quote, unless we can do something much better. Correct. Last month, you said, quote, we're working on it. So tonight, 9 years after you first started running, do you have a plan, and can you tell us what it is?
Obamacare was lousy health care. Always was. It's not very good today. And what I said, that if we come up with something, and we are working on things, we're going to do it and we're going to replace it. But remember this, I inherited Obamacare because Democrats wouldn't change it. They wouldn't vote for it. They were unanimous. They wouldn't vote to change it. If they would have done that, we would have had a much better plan than Obamacare. But the Democrats came up. They wouldn't vote for it. I had a choice to make when I was president. Do I save it and make it as good as it can be, never going to be great, or do I let it rot? And I felt I had an obligation, even though politically it would have been good to just let it rot and let it go away. I decided, and I told my people, the top people, and they're very good people. I have a lot of good people in that administration. We read about the bad ones. We had some real bad ones too, and so do they. They have really bad ones. The difference is they don't get rid of them. But let me just explain. I had a choice to make. Do I save it and make it as good as it can be, or do I let it rot? And I saved it. I did the right thing. But it's still never going to be great, and it's too expensive for people. And what we will do is we're looking at different plans. If we can come up with a plan that's going to cost our people, our population, less money and be better health care than Obamacare, then I would absolutely do it. But until then, I'd run it as good as it can be run.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan?
I have concepts of a plan. I'm not president.
I ain't gonna lie, that wasn't good. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't like when Trump did that, and of course the mics picked up her chuckling. See, that's what I'm talking about. The ABC, you know, and ABC was very conniving with this battle because it picked up every hot mic moment of her, but they muted Trump's mic all the way down. Why did they do that? Why did they do that? Now, but I'm not gonna lie, Trump, that wasn't a good look when you said you had concepts of a plan. That wasn't good. That wasn't a good look. That wasn't a good look. I'm not gonna lie, Trump. That wasn't a good look.
President right now. But if we come up,
because it comes off as, you know, my dog ate my homework. That's how it comes off to me.
with something, I would only change it if we come up with something that's better and less expensive. And there are concepts and options we have to do that. And you'll be hearing about it in the not too distant future.
Vice President Harris, in 2017, you supported Bernie Sanders' proposal to do away with private insurance and create a government-run healthcare system. 2 years later, you proposed a plan that included a private insurance option. What is your plan today?
Well, first of all, I absolutely support, and over the last 4 years as vice president, private health care options. But what we need to do is maintain and grow the Affordable Care Act. But I'll get to that, Lindsay. I just need to respond to a previous point
Oh,
that
my
the former
goodness.
president has made. I've made very clear my position on fracking. And then this business about taking everyone's guns away. Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away. So stop with the continuous lying about this stuff. As it relates to the Affordable Care Act, understand, just look at the history to know where people stand. When Donald Trump was president, 60 times he tried to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. 60 times. I was a senator at the time when I will never forget the early morning hours when it was up for a vote in the United States Senate. And the late, great John McCain, who you have disparaged as being, you don't like him, you said, at the time because he got caught. He was an American hero. The late, great John McCain, I will never forget that night, walked onto the Senate floor and said, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't get rid of the Affordable Care Act. You have no plan. And what the Affordable Care Act has done is eliminate the ability of insurance companies to deny people with pre-existing conditions. I don't have to tell the people watching tonight, you remember what that was like? Remember when an insurance company could deny if a child had asthma, if someone was a breast cancer survivor, if a grandparent had diabetes? And thankfully, as I've been vice president, and we over the last 4 years have strengthened the Affordable Care Act, we have allowed for the first time Medicare to negotiate drug prices on behalf of you, the American people. Donald Trump said he was going to allow Medicare to negotiate drug prices. He never did.
Get it together now. A lot of stumbling and bumbling. Up. Get it together or forget it forever.
And now we have capped the cost of insulin at $35 a month. Since I've been vice president, we have capped the cost of prescription medication for seniors at $2,000 a year. And when I am president, we will do that for all people, understanding that the value I bring to this is that access to health care should be a right and not just a privilege of those who can afford it. And the plan has to be to strengthen the Affordable Care Act, not get rid of it.
Vice
Fastest
President
prologue
Harris,
in
thank
terms
you.
of where Donald Trump stands on that.
I want to move to an issue that's important for a
She
lot
made
of
a mistake. At number one, John McCain fought Obamacare for 10 years. But it wasn't only him. It were all of the Democrats that kept it going. And you know what? We can do much better than Obamacare, much less money. But she won't improve private insurance for people, private medical insurance. That's another thing she doesn't want to get.
President
People
Trump
are paying privately for insurance that have worked hard and made money, and they want to have private. She wants everybody to be on government insurance where you wait 6 months for an operation that you need immediately.
President Trump, thank you. We have another issue that we'd like to get to that's important for a number of Americans, in particular younger voters, and that's climate change. President Trump, with regard to the environment, you say that we have to have clean air and clean water. Vice President Harris, you
Now, this is another discussion I didn't think Trump did too good in. Like, Trump, listen, the climate thing, man, it doesn't look good. To deny climate change, Trump, it's not a good look, man. We all see the record-breaking heat. It's not a good look, Trump. He got to stop. You got to tell him, man, stop doing that. Stop. You can't, because of course they're gonna bring it up. They're gonna bring up all of him denying the record, the heat, all the climate change stuff like that. He got to stop doing that, man. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good.
Climate change an existential threat. The question to you both tonight is, what would you do to fight climate change? And Vice President Harris, we'll start with you. 1 minute for you each.
Well, the former president had said the climate change is a hoax. And what we know is that it is very real. You ask anyone who lives in a state who has experienced these extreme weather occurrences, who now is either being denied home insurance or it's being jacked up.
Somebody called. Oh shit, my fault. Damn, y'all. Hold on.
Romney and John McCain, including the endorsement of former Vice President
Somebody called Trump a draft dodger, and I thought that was hilarious.
Dick Cheney and Congressmember Liz Cheney. And if you want to really know the inside track on who the former president is, if he didn't make it clear already, just ask people who have worked with him. His former chief of staff, a 4-star general, has said he has contempt for the Constitution of the United States. His former national security advisor has said he is dangerous and unfit. His former secretary,
this was a long
president,
time
and
ago.
we, over the last 4 years, have strengthened the Affordable Care Act. We have allowed for
lost 10,000 manufacturing jobs this last month. It's going, they're all leaving. They're building.
do around
I'm trying to get back to the global warming and stuff like that.
manufacturing and opening up auto plants, not closing them like happened on.
Hold on 1 second, y'all.
Do around American manufacturing and opening up auto plants, not closing them like happened under Donald Trump.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
That didn't happen under Donald Trump. Let me just tell you, they lost 10,000 manufacturing jobs this last month. It's going, they're all leaving. They're building big auto plants in Mexico, in many cases owned by China. They're building these massive plants, and they think they're going to sell their cars into the United States because of these people. What they have given to China is unbelievable. But we're not going to let that. We'll put tariffs on those cars so they can't come into our country, because they will kill the United Auto Workers and any auto worker, whether it's in Detroit or South Carolina or any other place. What they've done to business and manufacturing in this country is horrible. We have nothing because they refuse. You know, Biden doesn't go after people because supposedly China paid him millions of dollars. He's afraid to do it between him and his son. They get all this money from Ukraine. They get all this money from all of these different countries. And then you wonder, why is he so loyal to this one, that one, Ukraine, China? Why is he? Why did he get $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife? Why did she pay him $3.5 million? This is a crooked administration, and they're selling our country down the tubes.
President Trump, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with closing statements from both of our candidates. An historic night, this ABC News presidential debate from Philadelphia. Back in a moment.
Yeah, we're about to close this thing out, y'all, because it's getting late.
The ABC News presidential debate will continue.
We're going to do the closing statements. Thank y'all for rocking it. We got about 1,000 people in the building, rolling out strong. Salute to everybody that's in the building. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Yeah, make sure somebody said I like that soundboard work.
Oh, Pyro, you going to bed, nigga.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, Pyro, you going to bed, nigga.
Yeah, man. Well, listen, man. We're about to get into the closing statements. Who won tonight? Who did you have winning tonight? Did you have Trump winning tonight? Kamala winning tonight? I'm going to give Trump the win tonight. I'm sorry. I know a lot. You're going to watch ABC. I guarantee you're going to watch ABC, MSNBC. You're going to watch CNN. They're going to play a bunch of sound bites. They're going to tell you, oh, Kamala, she did so great. I guarantee you. I guarantee you they're going to bring up the dog. I mean, they're eating our pets. They're going to bring that. You're going to use that as a sound bite. They're gonna use the 8th month thing, the abortion in the 8th month. They're gonna use that as a soundbite, and they're gonna run with that, and they're gonna say, "Oh, Kamala won because of this." But if you watch this battle in totality, I think she lost this battle. There's only 2 issues where I really think that Trump didn't do too good. Well, maybe like two issues. He didn't do good in the He didn't do too good in the the climate change. He's not really good at that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Climate change and abortion. I scored it. I scored it tie on abortion. I think it was a tie. I think they both did good in abortion. I scored a tie on that. But yeah, he lost. He lost on the climate change. But she got mopped. She got absolutely mopped on the Israel Palestine thing. She got mopped on that. She started bleeding on that one. She got mopped on immigration. So she got mopped on a couple the economy. She got mopped on. Yeah, so there was a few things she got mopped on, but yeah, I'm gonna give Trump the win tonight. I'm gonna give Trump the win. Somebody said he lost on immigration. How could he lose on immigration? I don't see how he lost on immigration. How did he lose? Break it down. Break it down. Somebody said I'm coping. How am I coping? I'm not a Trump supporter. See, that's the problem with y'all. A lot of y'all just come in here and you hear me champion somebody, or you hear me say something that I like from a candidate, and you think that I'm slobbing knobs like you. No, sir. I'm not slobbing knobs like you. I'm not supporting neither one of these candidates. Everybody's not slobbing knobs like you. I don't slob the knobs of the Democrats or the Republicans. So you over here, you telling me that I'm coping while I'm sitting back drinking a beer, eating popcorn, enjoying the show. I don't get it, man. Okay, if you say so. Like I don't know what I'm coping from. I'm enjoying the show. I don't know what I'm coping from. I don't support Trump. I don't support Kamala. So I don't know what I'm coping from. So okay. That's just the culture we live in. We live in a culture where everything is a soundbite. Everything is, oh, I gotta troll you on this. It's like, dog, like, you know, it's not that deep for everybody. Sorry. It's not that deep for everybody. Let's get back into it, though.
Right, the time has come.
Closing statements.
And Vice President Harris, we begin with you.
So I think you've heard tonight two very different visions for our country. One that is focused on the future, and the other that is focused on the past, and an attempt to take us backward. But we're not going back. And I do believe that the American people know we all have so much more in common than what separates us, and we can chart a new way forward. And a vision of that includes having a plan, understanding the aspirations, the dreams, the hopes, the ambition of the American people, which is why I intend to create an opportunity economy, investing in small businesses, in new families, in what we can do around protecting seniors, what we can do that is about giving hardworking folks a break and bringing down the cost of living. I believe in what we can do together that is about sustaining America's standing in the world and ensuring that we have the respect that we so rightly deserve, including respecting our military and ensuring we have the most lethal fighting force in the world. I will be a president that will protect our fundamental rights and freedoms, including the right of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do. I'll tell you, I started my career as a prosecutor. I was a DA, I was an attorney general, a United States senator, and now vice president. I've only had one client, the people. And I'll tell you, as a prosecutor, I never asked a victim or a witness, are you a Republican or a Democrat? The only thing I ever asked them, are you okay? And that's the kind of president we need right now. Someone who cares about you and is not putting themselves first. I intend to be a president for all Americans and focus on what we can do over the next 10 and 20 years to build back up our country by investing right now in you, the American people.
Vice President Harris, thank you. President,
I'm gonna give that ending speech a C-. Little too somber. I don't hear the urgency in her voice, the urgency to save America, the urgency to fix the economy, the urgency to fix the immigration problem. I don't hear the urgency. It's a little too soft-spoken. Yeah, it's like the maternal hand. Anybody know anything about the maternal hand? It's just a little too somber for me. I don't hear the urgency. I don't hear the call to action. It's not inspiring me to vote. So I'm gonna give it a C-. I'm just grading their final speeches, their final remarks. I'm gonna give her a C-. I'm gonna give Trump a grade as well. So I'm giving her a C- in her final remarks. Let's get to Trump.
Trump.
So she just started by saying she's going to do this, she's going to do that, she's going to do all these wonderful things. Why hasn't she done it? She's been there for 3.5 years. They've had 3.5 years to fix the border. They've had 3.5 years to create jobs and all the things we talked about. Why hasn't she done it? She should leave right now, go down to that beautiful White House, go to the Capitol, get everyone together and do the things you want to do, but you haven't done it and you won't do it because you believe in things that the American people don't believe in. You believe in things like we're not going to frack. We're not going to take fossil fuel. We're not going to do things that are going to make this country strong, whether you like it or not. Germany tried that, and within 1 year, they were back to building normal energy plants. We're not ready for it. We can't sacrifice our country for the sake of bad vision. But I just ask one simple question. Why didn't she do it? We're a failing nation. We're a nation that's in serious decline. We're being laughed at all over the world. All over the world, they're laughed. I know the leaders very well. They're coming to see me. They call me. We're laughed at all over the world. They don't understand what happened to us as a nation. We're not a leader. We don't have any idea what's going on. We have wars going on in the Middle East. We have wars going on with Russia and Ukraine. We're going to end up in a third world war, and it'll be a war like no other because of nuclear weapons, the power of weaponry. I rebuilt our entire military. She gave a lot of it away to the Taliban. She gave it to Afghanistan. What these people have done to our country, and maybe toughest of all, is allowing millions of people to come into our country. Many of them are criminals, and they're destroying our country. The worst president, the worst vice president in the history of our country.
President Trump.
I'm going to give Trump a C+. Oh my God! I'm going to give him a C+. I hear the urgency that Kamala didn't have. I feel like I hear the urgency in his voice, but it's all negative. We're the worst country. The worst president is in office. Every country's laughing at us. It's all negative. You know, I think that Trump, he kind of dropped the ball on this final remark. Even when I watched it in real time, I felt like he kind of dropped the ball. I felt like even though I agree with certain aspects of what he's saying, this should still be his, like, you know, the moment to unite us still. Because this might be the last debate. I ain't gonna lie. I don't think Trump and Kamala should do another debate after this. I don't think Trump has to do another debate after this. It'll be his third debate after this point. So I don't think he has to do another debate. So if this is gonna be his last debate, I felt like he should have been a little bit more like uniting us instead of just telling us how bad we are, how we're failing, terrible as a nation. It's almost like your parent just telling you how terrible you are as a son or a daughter. You're terrible. I feel like anybody ever saw the movie Precious? I feel like, you know, I feel like Precious right now. Like, you're just telling me how terrible I am, how horrible I am. It just feels like a bad Tyler Perry movie. I don't know. I mean, I felt like this should have been his time to kind of unite us as a country, unite us. I mean, I just said somebody said, so he's not telling the truth. He is telling the truth in certain aspects. But it's like, damn, bro, if you're running for the president, bro, unite us. Bring us together to some extent, at least. Yeah, unite us, bring us together. You know, as a president, you have to, you have to unite people. You have to, because people are looking at you to be the leader. You're supposed to give us some leadership, and you can't unite people with negative rhetoric. I'm gonna be honest with you. You can't unite people with yes. We hear me out, Trump supporters. We know Biden is terrible. We know Kamala is terrible. But that telling us that Biden is terrible and Kamala is terrible, that's not going to unite us. Tell us that you're going to get back in office and you're going to unite us. You're going to fix things. Vote for me, on election night, and I'm going to fix everything, and I'm going to be the savior of America. That's what he should have said. Don't tell us how terrible we are as a nation. You guys are terrible. Everybody's laughing at you. You're horrible. You're filthy. You're scum. That's what he essentially did. Just my criticism. That's all. Just my criticism. That's all. I'm here to criticize. But that was the presidential election of 2024, the second one that took in place. Kamala Harris's first one, Trump's second one. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think we're going to get a third. I'm going to be honest. A lot of people want a third, but I don't think we're going to get a third presidential debate. I would love to see it. But I don't see a reason for Trump to do another. I don't think Trump needs to do another one. Especially if the populace is saying that Trump won this one. Or let's say they have it tied. Or let's say they said maybe Kamala even edged him. What's the point for Trump to do a third? If people say he won, I don't see a point in him doing a third. If people say it was close, I don't see the reason for him to do another one. If people say he lost, I don't see him reason. He already got one debate he won in the bag already. So he could run off with that and say, well, I won one debate anyway. And it's against the same administration. So I don't really see the reasoning for Trump to do a third. He could do a third one. But I'm just saying strategically, I don't really see a reason for him to do a third one. You guys got to get your minds out of the gutter. Somebody says, Sloop says Kamala edged him. Pause. How does pause work its way into that? We're talking about a woman and a man, but you're saying pause. How does that work? Pause. I'm not even going to get into it. People love majoring in the minors. And I just want to say this before we end the night off. Stop majoring in the minors. We live in a culture where people major in the minors. We major in the minors, and it's sad, bro. That's why we live in a soundbite culture. That's why the test scores are so poor. That's why all of our teenage young men are addicted to corn. We love majoring in the minors. But with that being said, guys, I want to give a salute to Sinclair. I want to give a salute to Zane. Salute to Sinclair and Zane for holding me down tonight on this 10K stream. I got 10K tonight. Salute to them. Salute to Sinclair. Salute to Zane. Listen, man, we're gonna have more talks. We're gonna have more political discussion. If this is your first time here, we do discussions on political debates. We do discussions on Kamala Harris. We do discussions on Trump. Our main focus is politics. We talk about politics. That's our main focus. And we get into, hip-hop discussions and celebrity gossip discussions. But the main focus is politics. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Will we see a Kamala Harris interview? Will we see another one? I want to see another Kamala Harris interview. Will we get another Kamala Harris interview? I would love to see it. I'm hoping that's the next thing that I could react to, the next thing I could take a look at and critique. I want to hear more. I want to see her sit down with a publication and have a full unedited, because the last one was edited, heavily edited. A full, unfiltered, unedited conversation with the publication. Will we see that? Will we see that in the coming weeks? Will we see that in the coming month? Now, remember, election night is not too far away. I mean, we're in September, October, November is right around the corner. It'll be here before you know it. So that's what it is. But again, guys, stay tuned. This is your first time here. Like I said, we have political discussions. We're going to have more discussions on the rallies. Hopefully, these two will debate again. I would love to react to it. I would love to watch it. But with that being said, guys, I hope you guys have been entertained as well as enlightened. Again, if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video. Okay? Somebody said something about a trans-military. I'm not touching that. A trans-military. I'm going to leave that alone. But I hope you guys have been entertained as well as enlightened. I am your host, True and Living. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video. And I will see you guys in the next stream and the next video. You guys have a blessed night. You guys have a good night. You guys have a productive week. God bless you all. We are out. Salute to Sinclair. Salute to Zane. Salute to all my mods. We out of here, y'all. Y'all have a blessed night. We out.